Hochanda's 5 Days of Christmas. Are you struggling for ideas or need a little extra creative assistance as you start your crafty preparations for Christmas 2020? From Thursday the 23rd of July at 6 p.m. to Tuesday the 28th of July at 6 p.m, we'll be bringing you 5 days of Christmas crafting. Tune in and be inspired by Pink Ink, Sentimentally Yours, Clarity Stamp, John Next Door, La Blanche and many, many more as they help you get into the crafty Christmas spirit. Also, as an early Christmas treat from us to you, make a purchase of any item and you will automatically be given a £5 credit to spend against any purchase of £30 or more the following day. And you can do this every day throughout our event. So get ready for Christmas 2020 by tuning in to our 5 Days of Christmas from the 23rd of July at 6 p.m.
Yes, indeed. Have you ever wondered how to make your own book? How do you get the papers stuck together? How do you make that little notelet? All those clippings that you've got left at home and now you're thinking, well, they're just going everywhere. They're all stuck in that box and I don't really read them anymore. All those old programmes that you've got from shows you've seen in the past, from autographs you've got from around the world, the newsletters that was popped under your cruise door, all those happy memories lying in an attic in a box. Well now, why don't you bookbind them? Why don't you put them all together for the world to see and let your memories live on and on and on? And you can now do that as well with the beautiful bookbinding press. I know, it's a good little nifty system. It really, really is. Now, we've got the original back in stock. The details are on the screen at the moment for the original. £19.99. 792389 is your item number. And then we've got some new todays as well. We've got an extra large on the show, as you can see. A4 we're sort of looking at now with your extra large. So you've got your extra large one. And then the details on the screen, £29.99. Now, personally for me, if I was going for one of these, I would go, if my budget would go, I'd go for the extra large. Then you've got the best of every world under the sun. You can do A5, you can do your little books in here, you can then also go achieve the large A4 books as well. Everything will fit in, and I will prove it's A4 for the sheer fact. So your bookbinding will fit straight in there beautifully for £29.99. Or, if you're just starting out, you're thinking, oh, I don't know, but I'd like to dip my toe in the water. I've got a few things that I also need. £12.99 for the mini book press, brand new again today. The original sold out within hours. It flew out the door last time we bought it to you. So we've now bought you a large, and now you've got the mini as well. So now you've got the best of every world under the sun. I think it's a clever little gift. It's a nifty little gift. And as I said this morning in my little Facebook live video, I thought it was a flower press. I thought, oh, Jane is spreading her wings, isn't she? She's now gone into pressed flowers. I thought this would be a nice little show. But it can be if you want it to be. But now you can create a book. So how do you get that super smooth look to that book cover with the canvas on the one side and then you've got your paper on the insert there that you want to use time and time again? Well, now you can with this, and it's a very simple process. And the lady that knows the process and put the process together and got hooked on bookbinding, oh, everything she dishes out now. She has a room dedicated. You thought I'm joking, I'm really not. She's got a whole room dedicated to book pressing. That's how many books she does. It's our Jane. Morning, my love.
Good morning.
How are you?
That was quite a little speech there, Adam.
Well, you know.
I was just wondering, who have you been mingling with? Autographs from around the world?
Well, I've got a few from my little cruise trips. Those days that Elaine Page snubbed me and didn't want to talk to me anymore. You know, those ones. Yeah, me and Janice Phillips. She's very big in Leicester. Oh, that Yanis.
Oh,
well, he's a tinker off screen. So bookbinding.
Yes.
And on a serious note, as
yes.
it were, when you mention bookbinding, the first thing you think of is it's going to be hard work. I'm going to need a lot of stuff, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. They're the three things. When I think of bookbinding, I think, no way. It's a trade that goes back for years. It's something that my granddad and them, they all used to do, and they now say, oh, I'd never give that a go. It's really, but it's not as hard as people make out, is it?
Well, there are obviously very in-depth processes, but what I've tried to do is, I mean, I attended a workshop a couple of years ago, learnt a simple bind, and then, like you said earlier, I just got hooked on it. So my idea was to simplify it, bring it to the craft world and show people. I mean, people love doing their journaling now, so why not just make your own journal? So yeah, book binding sounds scary, but journaling, not so scary.
Journaling sounds cute and fluffy.
Yeah.
What you do? Oh, I'm doing a bit of journaling. What you do now? Oh, I'm book binding. Oh, in the shed, welder's mask on, book binding. See? You can do journaling in your dressing gown, but it's one of these things. But if you do like lists, if you like shopping lists, but you've got decorative papers and you don't know what to do with them, all those papers you've got lying around in the craft world, and crafters do, you keep every little scrap of paper, which is amazing. But now you can turn them into something and use them as amazing gifts. And everything you see here, so if I open this up, this is canvas on the front. So you've got a beautiful material on the front that's been stitched into. But then if you open it up, you've got your paper on the inside. Now, how would you normally achieve that? You wouldn't be able to achieve that professional finish with no jagged ends, nothing's on there, everything's stuck together really, really well. And that's the simple way, that's how the press more or less works. It squashes everything, so you get professional looks every single time.
Yeah, I did ask on Facebook before the show, what would people like me to go through, and people were saying about, you know, let's go back to the basics, and someone did say, how do you get fabric stuck to the board or the paper without any wrinkles? Book press.
And that's what we're going to look at. And then they see that, but this is the thing, it's the concept. Once you make it even simpler than what it actually is, you think, oh yeah, use the book press, you're not going to get any wrinkles. Everything's going to stay beautifully and flat. And then there's so many other processes that you can do with it as well. £29.99. We are very busy for the extra large this morning. 366874 is your item number. For your extra large, if your budget will go, I'd go for the extra large, because then you cover all three bases that I'm about to show you. Then we've got the mini as well on the show. The mini is the little one of the family. Your mini will create books sort of these sizes. Okay, so your mini, you've got the tiny little books in there, so things like your little jotter books, things like your little watercolour pads, all those watercolours that you buy from Pink Frog, all those little bits of paper, and you don't know what to do with. Bookbind them. Keep them all together in there as well. Your mini's £12.99. If you're just going to dip your toe in the water today, dip your toe in with this one. £12.99. 592610 is your item number. But I can tell you now, once you've dipped that toe in the water, you're going to absolutely love it, and you wish you would have gone for that really large one. And then we've got your back in stock as well. So your back in stock, this is the original, sold out time and time again, just so you can sort of see the book sizes that you've got in there as well. So you can go for those larger books in there, sort of like your standard diary size. We're looking at with this as well. Maybe, as I said, you're doing lists like this one. You've got them beautiful lists in there, so you want to bookbind it all together. This is what you can create. A few hours ago, this was all loose paper. Now it's book-bound, it's professional, and imagine selling these. You could go out and sell all these if you wanted to as well, all those bits of paper. You would make your £19.99 back quite quickly on these as well. 792389 is your item number. I couldn't read numbers and stand that up at the same time. £19.99 is what we're looking at for this as well. Remember, the original, the two brand new. You asked for the extra large, you've now got the extra large as well. £19.99 for the original. Something else though, another backing stock that we've also got is the Beginner's Bookbinding Guide. Now, we're going to give you a few hints and tips over the next 2 hours. We've got a show now and we've got a show at 10 o'clock. I'm glad you know my schedule. We've got a show at 10 o'clock as well myself. We are going to show you some hints and tips, but if you want to go into more depth, if you want to go into more detail, and there is loads more things on the DVD as well. What sort of can we achieve from the DVD? So what other techniques are on the DVD that we're going to need?
So I go through what I consider to be the most simple and handy bind, which is a 3-hole pamphlet bind. We also do a 5-hole, and then the one that you've got there is beaded spine. So we start going into decorative spines. I've also got one where I've encased a paintbrush in the spine.
So, I've got one of those.
And then that really is the same as a running stitch, which we also do on the DVD, but it's just that you're encasing something as you stitch, so it really kind of opens it up as to, you know, decorative things that you can do whilst binding.
What you can now achieve as well. They're absolutely beautiful. And remember, once again, these started life as just your original paper. Just papers, just standard papers are there. Now you can achieve quality covers with them, thick quality covers, and it is something you would buy in the high street, like them high street stores that you would buy. This is what you would go for your little jotters, for your little journals, that little book that you throw in your handbag, that you leave in the glove box of the car just in case you need to make notes. But now you can personalise them. Now you can go to town with them as well. I'm loving this one because this is what we're into at the moment, making this at home, this design. Thought we could achieve, but me and Molly absolutely loving it. Bit of shaving foam, can't go wrong. But this, once again, we could now achieve this. If we got the bookbinding kit, we could take our papers and we can make our own journal books for anyone that's in the family. So for whatever they're into, you can do that, but you need a starting point. It's all very well getting your press home, but if you don't know where to go and you don't know where your first footing is, it's all here. Everything is crammed into this little DVD. And what I like about a DVD as well, you can stop it and start it whenever you want, which is always nice.
You can pause me. You can shut me up when you want.
When I said that, I thought it sounded worse than I actually meant. But what I mean, if you're stuck and you're thinking, oh, I didn't quite understand that, you can go back. Yeah. You can go back and watch it. Digging myself out of that hole. You can go back and watch it again, and then you can replay it and go, oh, actually, yeah, now I understand what Janie was talking about. Pause, I'm going for a cup of tea. But it's all there for you in a beautiful compact DVD. It makes a beautiful gift as well. If it was me, I would go for the DVD, and you might go for your original as well. What a beautiful little gift for someone to start off in the world. Now, we have other things on the show as well. Shop ahead of me on the website. We've got the thread, needle and wax that you might need as well. That's also here. £9.99 with this one. It's the thread, needle and the wax. 260092 is your item number. Now, as I said, if you're a bit bamboozled, if you're a bit baffled about what's actually going on this morning, don't worry. Janie's here. If you've got any questions as well, please do email them in studio@hochanda.com, and we'll put all your questions to Janie this morning, just so we know what's going on. Janie also recommends the accessories that you're getting as well. This will make your life easier. It really, really will, and it'll break everything down. Once again, looking at the picture can seem quite daunting, but we'll all go through it, and it'll all make sense when we get to demo, which we're about to go to now. We've also got a brand new box on the show as well. A very beautiful little box, which I'll give you more details on as we go through the hour as well, but shop ahead on the website for me. Right then, let's start at the very beginning, because it's a very good place to start, Julie Andrews. You're using the original size.
Yes, this is the original one,
very popular,
yeah.
The largest, super popular as well. Right then, I'm going to leave it all up to you. I'm going to be quiet. I know, it'll be hard. But I'm quite intrigued on how all this works.
Right, well, what I thought I would do for the first demo is do what we call a perfect bind, because that can be drying, and then hopefully it will be dry by the second show. That's the idea. So this little notebook here, which has got this is what is called a perfect bind. So it's literally just stuck together, pressed down, and you leave it, and you have to be patient. Hopefully it will be dry by the second show. So I've pre-cut paper, but this is where you were saying like any loose leaf paper, this is ideal. Also for just your little notebooks for your shopping list, that sort of thing is ideal. So I've already unscrewed this. You said earlier that you thought it was a flower press.
Yeah, I looked at it, I thought, oh, Janie's spreading her wings.
You could use it as a flower press. If you just put some paper and, you know, either some felt or some cotton, that sort of thing, maybe some kitchen roll in there, then obviously you can clamp it down, you can press flowers as well. So we like...
That would be quite, I know I said I'd be quiet, but that would be quite nice for the fronts of your cards. If you wanted, like, pressed flowers on the front of your pages as well, you could do that. Like lavender, and it'd give you a little scent. Yeah.
Let me tip this up. So what I've done is I've just put a binder clip in just to keep it all stable and in place to start with, okay, and then I'm just gonna clamp it down all the way. So just tighten it up. So you want to tighten it as much as you can to keep all the pages nice and tight, and then that can come off because it's in place.
Okay.
So if you're using larger sheets of paper or even the larger press, I mean, you can perfect bind, you know, much larger than this. What I would do is leave a little bit more coming out, and when we do the gluing technique that I'm going to show you, you would bend it like that. So I'll show you what I mean. So glue, let's hope this didn't dry out in my car. There we go. So I'm just going to dab some glue down the spine, and I'm going to tap it in. Now, another thing you would do if you were doing a large one, so where I was saying about bending it, you would leave a bit more out and you would bend it like this and push the glue in, and you would bend it that way and push the glue in, because what you're doing is getting it all nicely in the edge of the sheet. If you were doing a large one or a very thick one, what people often do is cut little, so you would go in with your knife and just cut little lines like that, and then that helps the glue also go in. Okay, so I've got my first layer in like that, pushing it in with my finger, and then I'm going to do another row. Seem to have some cotton on the end of that glue as well, and just spread it in like that. So I'm doing this one without a backboard, so this one's got a backboard. It's only because I forgot to pre-cut one. So all you would do is cut it the same size and just have that on one side, and it will hold that as well.
Is there a particular glue that we need?
I'm doing this with our acrylic glue, and we also have the bookbinding glue as well. That was just the first one that I picked up.
And if you want that glue, it's a good little glue. You're getting 3 of the glues for £11.99. The details are at the bottom of your screen at the moment.
So I'm just going to put a third run in, just to be on the safe side. And then that can just sit there now until the second show, and we'll see if it's dry.
Oh, so it's as quick and easy as that?
Yep.
Can you, and now obviously ask a silly question, going to get a silly answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I'm impatient. Could you use your heat gun to speed up the process? Or does that
well, you could, but the problem you would probably have is you would surface dry it, and then the glue that's trying to sink into the edges of the paper would maybe not be secure, so then you'd get impatient. I mean, I get impatient. This sort of thing I tend to do at the end of the day, and then it will sit there overnight. Yeah, and then I'm not tempted to see if it's dry yet.
Because it is one of those questions that you would try, but it's good to know, because you want it to work perfect, because there's nothing worse than giving it a go, and then when you go back to it, you think, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I won't do that again. I tried it last time, it didn't work for me. You've just got to be patient, unfortunately. I know. Do it at the end of the day, go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, it will be ready for its next stage. The next thing, obviously, we'll see that process at 10 o'clock this morning as well, once this one has dried as well. So we've got 3 different sizes for you on the show today. We're very busy for the extra large. I think most of you so far have gone, well, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. But if you go for the extra large, you've got the best of both worlds for the other 2 sizes as well that's in there. Because with that extra large, you can now do A4. So if you're going to do your A4, you can do your A4, but then you can also, remember, you can use it both ways as well. It's entirely up to you which way you want to use it. So you've got that A4 aspect in there. So in fact, you could go slightly bigger than A4, I feel, because you've got the bit of space at the top as well. So you could do your A4 in there if you wanted to go for A4. That's your large one, £29.99. Brand new today, launched this morning at 7 o'clock. 366874 is your item number. Something else that's new today as well is your mini. These are like for your little shopping lists, maybe. This is for those little gifts. It'd be beautiful if you do an initial on the front and you gifted it. You gifted it to that person, so you got like the J's, or you could do an A, or you could do an M, or you could spell names on there, or it could be for Mother's Day, it could be Father's Day, it could be that little note that you put a fridge magnet on the back, and it's something you attach to the fridge just to write those little notes down, because no one can find a pen when the phone goes, or a piece of paper. But this could be the thing, so pop a little magnet on the back, it could then attach to the fridge, but you could do it now in your decor. You could do it in your decor so it matches your home. No longer have you got to wander around the shops going, that's nice, but it's a bit flowery for our house. It's a bit flowery, it's a bit too niche for our house. Not anymore, because you can adapt. And then we've got the original. The original that sells out time and time again. Last time we bought it to you, it sold out. You've got the 4 wing nuts on there as well. Really simple and easy to do. You do it as tight as you want to do it, okay? But the original's on there, £19.99. £792,389 is your item number, and you can create all the books that you see in front of me as well. Very, very busy across the board. The super large, so the large one is very, very busy. Okay, and I don't say that often, and when I do, I'm genuinely telling you the truth. That it is. We also have our stitching cradle that's on here. Now, we get so much in here. Now, obviously, the only thing I really recognise is your pokey tools and your binders in there. They're in there. Your bone folders. Why do we need a stitching cradle?
Because it makes things so much easier. I'm not one for measuring very much.
Okay.
It's just a bit boring, you know. Who wants all that? So I came up with this idea of a piercing guide, because where I don't necessarily like measuring, I do like things to look even. Nice. So a lot of people, when they put, say you've got a 3-hole bind, so a lot of people will eyeball it, the centre, and then if it's slightly off, then that just annoys my OCD. But to measure it out and to work it out, this is a lot simpler, because all you do is find the centre hole and then count the holes out, pierce, and also the cradle holds it for you. So I've taught a lot of the binding on our cruise ships, Adam. And the thing that some ladies were finding problems with was actually piercing the hole all the way through the spine evenly. So this eliminates that problem.
Yeah, and I'm putting you on the spot now.
Yep.
Can we see just a quick demo on how roughly it works?
Yep.
Is that all right? Sorry, in the gallery. Is that okay?
That is fine.
Because I think it makes more sense if you see it working than actually, because here it looks like the manger.
Do you want me to just do it with a few pieces of paper,
just so we can
basically show you?
Get a little idea, and then we'll come back and we'll do a proper demo, as it were.
Okay. So say that's your folded book ready to go. So I've put a little bit of ink on here, just so I was hoping it would show up a little bit better on camera. So the idea being, we need to find the centre hole. The numbers that are on here equate to the notches on the edge rather than the holes, okay? So I know that if I line up, so I've got about 7.5 either side, which means the 0 is going to be my centre point.
Okay.
So I'll pierce my centre point, and then if I think 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Even through the spine.
Oh, look at that now.
So that's how quick it is to get a nice even, you know, I didn't have to measure it out, and it's gone straight through the spine.
So now, no more eyeballing, leave it on your desk, you get all the tools that you need as well, pop it in, pop your book in. You can do books of any size. Now obviously the thickness all depends on you, but remember you've got to be able to get your pokey tool through there. But if you're doing a thick book, for example, and you've got lots of pages, you do the first set beautifully, bish bash bosh, done. Pages are in, you've got your holes in. You can go to your next set. Now what do you have to do? Well, now you have to take them out, you have to re-measure the holes that you've done before for that previous set, then pop it back in, then sort of get your ruler in there so you roughly know where the holes are. Not with this. Pop your tools straight in to your cradle, straight in it goes, and then you pierce straight through these holes, because all the numbers are on. If I turn it that way, you'll see, I know they'll be upside down. All the numbers are on there, so everything is on there for you. So this would more or less be, it's sort of like a necessity in it. It makes your life easier. Yes. And if you want to make a lot of books in a short amount of time, you can whip through your books because you know where your holes are and you know what numbers you've done before. Yeah,
and also with like the 3-hole that I've just shown you.
Yeah.
You may want to put, say, 3 of those in one book. So by using the piercing guide, as long as you remember which holes you went through, they're all going to be identical. So then you can bind 3 into one book, all the holes are in the same place.
You see, so that is a 3-hole, so it's just like a little running stitch down the middle. So there's the inserts, but then you're good to go. And that is not going anywhere. It's super strong. You haven't had to measure anything, but you can go from 3 to this. So now you can do as many holes as you like. You can go on and on and on. You can do your longer books in there. The reason I'm holding this way, just so you can see the size difference that you're getting in there as well. But if you didn't want every other hole, you could do every other one. So now you can make them, but you know them beads are going to be perfect every single time. They're going to sit beautifully down the spine themselves. Absolutely stunning, and there is so much more you can do with it as well. Very busy on this now. I think watching the demo really did kick in. You're thinking, oh, that makes sense now. So once again, a little necessity that you might need here as well. Along with your press, I would be popping one of these in my basket as well. 368664 is your item number, £24.99. Now, there's a lot of necessities on this show. Because if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. Once you've got the foundation, you're good to go. And it's like building a house. You can't dilly-dally. You need the proper tools. But once you've got the proper tools, you could go on for days, years, months. But you need the proper tools. So these are the proper tools in here as well. So you're getting the needles this time. You're getting 2 needles that come in the beautiful needle holder. And you also get your bookbinding thread in there. And you also get the wax. I'm guessing the wax is for the needles to help it go through the book?
Nope.
What? What's the wax for then?
You wax the thread. So bookbinders tend to use wax thread. Now you can pay out and buy pre-wax thread if you want to, which is fine. I have some here. But it means you can use like the thread we've got there, you can use embroidery floss, so you can colour coordinate. The reason we put wax on it is, one, when you tie the holes off, it holds the knot a lot easier. Also, if you were doing a long bind, it stops the thread from tangling up as you're stitching.
You wait till 10 o'clock, I'll be on fine form. I'll whip through this counter. So, all the threads. So we've got threads on 7-day savers as well. I think it's like 72 skeins that you've got on there. So if you wanted to do your little books on there, you could also do your little books with these as well. Because you're getting your wax in there, you're getting 2 needles, and you're getting thread included as well for £9.99. Another one to add to the basket if your budget will go as well. 260092 is your item number. The quickest and the easiest place to go is jump to the website. Everything is on there. We have more thread on there as well. We've got your presses, your DVDs, your glues are online. There is so much more. We've also got the little boxes, the journal boxes. Journal in box. See what she's done there? Very clever. The journal in box. Now this is amazing because you can keep your journals in it if you wanted to, or you can keep all of the other little areas in there. It fits beautifully like CD cases. That's what Janie uses her for all her ephemera that she's got. And it's got a nice little easel. So if you're doing your project and you're making the same kind, you think, oh, I want it to look sort of the same. You've got the beautiful easel on there. So now you can pop things on and you can go, right, that's the sort of look I'm going for. If you're watercolouring, you could put your watercolouring swatch up there and everything could go in the box. I think it's a beautiful little box just to keep everything neat and tidy. £14.99. 612793 is your item number that we're looking at the moment. This is our Janie's box. This is your actual box that you keep on your desk at home.
Yeah. So let me just move that press out of the way. So here you see these very boring, uninspiring notebooks that I've made. These are my first runs of when I had the idea of encasing a stick or a brush, that sort of thing. So what I do is I make it out of scrap paper, and I was always told that you keep the first ones that you make. 1, you can see where you've gone wrong, if you have gone wrong, and 2, it just reminds you how to do a bind. So then it's ideal to keep them all in your box.
Ah, look at that. And you've got all your ephemera in there as well.
Yeah, also I've made loads of ephemera printing off from the DVD ROMs and making them into stickers. So I keep them all in CD cases so I can find what I want. There's a lot of hours of cutting in there, Anne.
Yeah, I bet it looks like. They look good though, and this is the thing you can get once you've got the right tools for the job. So the DVDs, they're on the website as well. We've also got them on this show if you want to start using them. But I would definitely be getting hold of some of these. There's £14.99 a day. Maybe you keep your wax and your needles in there. Maybe you're also going to keep your threads in there as well, so you know where they all are. That would be your bookbinding box, as it were. So that's the one you would take down from the shelf. You've got that little compartment on the front, just here. where you can now pop in what the box is for. I think it's a beautiful little box, very simple and easy to put together. And for £14.99, it could be a photo box. We spent all day yesterday talking about photos. This is what it could be for as well. It's absolutely beautiful. It really, really is. Very busy on this already now. £14.99, 162793 is your item number. Right then, we're coming back. We're coming back to you.
I was going to show you another simple technique using the press. Because again, it's got drying time before the second show.
Would you like one of my presses?
I may like the large press, yes.
Well, as it's you.
If you'd like to lend me your press.
Well, of course, you can have my press. I'll leave it here.
That's fine,
because
and I'll
I'm not
grab
allowed
it. That's fine.
Any
Don't
closer
cross
due
the
to,
X.
Due to your emails you've been sending in.
Don't let him near me.
Don't let him anywhere near me. That's
Not
the reason.
again.
Yeah. Don't say that. People are watching. Me one viewer. They'll get scared.
So, moving swiftly on.
Not again.
We've got grey board on the show as well, and this is the ideal weight for your book boards.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do is show attaching the paper, which sounds like a very simple process, and it is. I'm just going to stab in the glue.
We get this brush with the grey board bundle as well, don't we?
Yeah, and the bookbinding glue it's similar to the acrylic glue, but it's got more of an open time. So it's ideal for processes like this. Just going to make sure I get it right around the edge. Stabbing it in. And then you'll notice as well we've got the sticky sheets. This is the backing from one of the sticky sheets because it's ideal to put down when you're gluing because it's like a wipeable surface, so it keeps your cutting mat nice and clean.
You think of everything. Think of everything.
So just going to push that down and then using the bone folder to smooth out. Now you always go from the centre out because if you've got any wrinkles or any air bubbles, you're pushing it out to the edge. Okay. Now, what some people would do is, I've not centralised that. So if you were to fold this over, imagine this is the inside of your book.
Okay.
If you were to fold that over and fold that over, you'll get a crease around when you put the next piece of paper on. I prefer that to be even. So I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to leave, and you notice most of the tools that I use have like grids and things like that on, just so you don't have to measure things.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's nice to be neat.
So just cut the edges off. Now, if you were being very precise as well, you, when you're doing bookbinding with your board, you pay attention to the direction of the grain.
Oh.
So I'm not worried about it on this one because it's just a demo piece. But if I grab a board, so where possible, you want the grain, you know there's a paper grain, there's also a grain in grey board as well. So ideally, and it's more important the bigger the book you do, you want the grain running top to bottom because of it will try and warp. So the easiest way is to bend, and whichever way it bends most. So that, if you see how easily that's bending that way, that's a bit harder, the grain's going that way. So I would have my book portrait like that. So you've got your grain top to bottom.
So the harder the easier the way it bends, that's the way the grain's going.
Because you're thinking it's going to, when it's, I'm not sure if you're going to see it on there. When you've soaked glue into it, it's going to try and curl itself, which is another reason for the press, because you want to stop the curl. So ideally, yeah, if you can have the grain going top to bottom, you'll have less of a curl on your book. So
well,
that's
I
just
never.
An easy way to find a grain on paper is to rip it. The straighter the edge when you rip it, that's the direction the grain's going in.
Oh, you're getting 10 sheets of the grey board and 4 sheets of your double-sided adhesive as well, which means you're also getting your glue mats in there as well, because it's the other side of your adhesive. And you're getting your stipple brush, as it were, your glue brush, and you're getting your glue in there as well. A nice little deal, $14.99.
So all I've done now is cut the corners off, and if you can get in close, you'll see I've not gone right up to the corner. I've left a couple of mil. Okay, and the reason for that is if I pop my glue out there, push that over using the bone folder again to get a nice edge, and push that over. Oh, not quite enough glue there. And then what I would do is get some glue in the corner. A wee close up on it now, or yeah, and then you would push that round like that, and then when this edge goes over it, what you've done is you've encased that corner.
Oh, look at that.
So I don't know how close in you can get, but you've covered that whole corner now. So if I'd cut it right down, you would have a tiny little gap there. So it's just little things like that that make a difference. So let's just carry on and glue this. I'm kind of being a little slapdash. I'm trying to get this done quite quickly to move on to something else.
No, it's all right.
I would normally spend a little bit more time.
We're only halfway through the hour.
Okay. It's just I know this isn't the most exciting of demos.
No, it's easy, but you give us a little nugget then about that corner. We would never have guessed how you get the professional look.
And of course, I'm doing this with paper, but you can do this with fabric or canvas as well.
I like all of this.
So push my corners round again.
But it gives you those professional finishes, isn't it? So if you are making to sell and things like that, this is what you're going to look for, and this is what people are going to go, oh, that was professionally done.
Yeah, it's little things like that that make a difference. So all the corners now are nice and neat and covered. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a piece of paper to cover. She says, what did I do with it, Adam? What did I do with my piece of paper?
I don't know. You wouldn't let me help you this morning. You told me to get back.
Yes, get away from me,
Get
Adam.
away.
I'll just do it with a plain bit because I can't find the printed bit that I had. So I'm just going to cut. So it's things like this as well, that if you can get a nice even edge all the way round. So put that like that, and then I know if I cut it there, I'm going to be nice and even. So using the grid on my cutting mat, line it up. So I always say to people, when you're doing things like bookbinding, I don't use a glass mat. All my other crafting, I use a glass mat because it's easy cleanup. But using a proper mat like this, it's safer. It doesn't slip around as much as if you're using a glass mat. And when you're lining up to your grids here, I find it more accurate because you've got the depth of a glass mat. It's not quite as accurate. A bit like a magnifying glass in a way, you know, when you're looking through glass. Right, so let's get, actually I'm going to stick the board, not the paper. Now what I would do at home actually is probably tip some of this glue out into a pot and use it like that. But I didn't, because I didn't bring a pot.
I can get you. Would you like a pot?
No, it's fine. I'm nearly done.
We've got
on this
some
now.
tap on the set you can have. I'm sure I could find a pot on here.
You've got what on the set?
Well, look at it. It's like a day at bargain hunt when we're in this set. We're meant to be in a manor.
Right, smooth that out.
David Dickinson will pop up in a minute saying, oh, what a Bobby Dazzler.
The other thing that I would normally have, which I forgot, I'd normally have like a little, I can't say the make of the cloth. It's blue, thin cloth. You would just keep damp. A J cloth.
Oh.
Other makes are available.
Other J cloths are available. A cloths, B cloths, yes. C cloths as well.
Because you want to keep everything as clean as possible. So I've got a little spillage of glue there, so I would just go round. And also things like your bone folder, you say. I don't always practice what I preach, but you know.
We've had a question in the row about the stipple brush that you're using with the glue. Do we need to wash that out? Because obviously it's glue, it's going to go rigid. Or the more you use it, the better it will be.
No, you need to wash it out.
So you need to wash it out every time.
You need to rinse it out. Yeah, I've not that I've got one in my sink that I didn't wash out properly, but from experience, yes, you need to wash it out thoroughly. Right, so what I'm going to do as well, before this goes in the book press, the backing from the sticky sheets.
Yeah, these come in handy.
I'm going to put one either side before it goes in the book press.
So it doesn't glue.
Because if I have got any little bits of glue, one, I don't want it sticking to the inside of the book press, and also I don't want to make the inside of the book press dirty.
Good idea, good idea.
You could always use a greaseproof paper or a wax paper, anything like that really, anything that's not going to stick. And then this will go in, it will just keep it nice and flat, and like I said, it will stop that curl. Oh, I need to open it a bit more. Adam, I'm wondering who it is at Hochanda that doesn't like me. Because
why?
Who's put me on 2 consecutive 7 a.m. shows? I mean, look at the
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
I thought you were going to talk about me then. I was like...
No, I mean, look at the T-shirt.
Just don't do mornings.
So who thought it was a good idea for me at 7 a.m. in the morning using sharp tools?
At 7 a.m.
Being precise.
Well, it was the people, Jane. The people wanted to see. We've had many letters over the last few weeks.
Yes, I'm sure.
So there's been a lot of correspondence coming in. I am more or less here, the glorified postmistress of Hochanda. I was sifting through them, and I went to the big wigs. I went, look, we need her in. We need her in at 7 a.m. This is what the people want to wake up to.
So it's you that doesn't like me.
This is twice you've said this now. We're going to start getting more emails. My lord, I am not guilty. Anything I tell you to say.
Right, so that one's in there. It's just going to sit there and do its thing now. Okay?
So how long? Is that another overnight project? Are we talking it will be ready for when we come back at 10, do we think?
Well, I'll have a look just before 10 and see if it's ready. No, it should be, because I didn't overload it with glue.
Okay.
I would have put more glue on there if I was using a fabric. Just depending on the fabric as to how it soaks in. But again, because I'm very impatient, I tend to do things like this at the end of the day.
And then leave them overnight.
And if I was doing, say, an A5 book, I would do the 2 boards. I mean, I've just done one now to show people how to cover a board, really, which sounds really boring. But if I was doing it for a book, then I would do 2 and put them side by side in the press, which is why a bigger press is a good idea. Press 2 at a time.
And that's what I was, and you've just answered the question itself. It's like, if your budget will go for it, yes, the mini press is amazing, and yes, the original is phenomenal as well, if that's what you're into. But the larger the press, 1, the more projects you can achieve.
Yeah.
And 2, if you still want to do those little projects, all the way up to, we sort of go A4, you could go slightly. What's the biggest you would say?
Well,
I'm saying, because there is a bit of wiggle room on the A4 in there, like longer.
This is A4. So obviously it is...
You have to be careful of the washers, don't you?
Yeah. That's why it's the size that it is, because you know you can get a clear A4 within these bits. I mean, depending on what you're doing as well, as to whether you're having it come out on the edge. Like I did on the Perfect Bind. If you were doing 2 things at the same time, you need to make sure really they're the same depth as well, because you're going to have more pressure on one side than the other, and that's what you would want to eliminate, because you don't want it to warp. The idea is to have it nice and flat and firm. So if you've got 2 projects, they need to be the same depth.
So that makes it, and in that sense as well, because normally you would think, oh, we've got washes on either side, so I'll do one at 4 pages and I'll do this one at 52 pages. Obviously, you're going to get that difference, and you want even pressure throughout, so you get that perfect bond every single time. We are very busy for the large press now, is what we've been. Nearly a quarter of the stock of the large press has now gone. It's A4 size, is what it is. Pop it on the floor. A quarter of the stock of the large press has now already gone. So remember, it's A4 size, but remember, you can go from A4 all the way down to the Diddy one. So I reckon you could get 3 of the little books in there quite comfortably and still have more room to go, because you could do like long ones, like shopping list ones, if you wanted to as well. So you've got so much space in there that you can do. But then, if you're thinking, well, the large one's good, Adam, but my budget, the time of the year, the time of the month there it is as well, my budget won't stretch for that. Now, I'd just like to dip my toe in the water and have a little go, if I could. We can go for the mini one. Mini at £12.99, you can do all the same items on it, but now imagine doing things with like Hessian and the paper on the insert. So how do you get the Hessian and the paper to bond without getting the bubbles and the cracking, and it's not really, it keeps peeling off, and I want to use it as a proper book? Well, you use it in a press, because you get rid of all those bubbles. Look how beautiful that is as a book itself, for the Hessian that you've got in there. And you can achieve these as well with little scraps of Hessian that you've got lying around. £12.99, 592610 is your item number. Little swatch of the denim. Imagine an old pair of jeans, little denim pocket. Take the pocket and use it as a book. So you could go really mini books if you wanted to as well, for little mini photos. That makes it very excited in my ear now. She's all like, oh, it's okay. It would be cute though. Baby clothes. How many baby grows have you got left over? Loads? Hundreds? I know we have. When our Molly's getting bigger and bigger by the day, I think she sleeps in a grow bag. If we do, you put a shirt on one day, you say, oh, well, we'll put it on, we're only going in the garden. It doesn't fit anymore. It's like it's up to here. Oh, what happened to you? Where did you sleep, Lucia? But yeah, so now, start using baby clothes. How beautiful would that be? A little terry toweling book that you've got with all the memories and the photos of, like, the little cord that goes around their wrist when they're in the hospital, to the first photos that you've got in there, to a little sock. You could use a little tiny sock in there as well. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I'm welling up. £12.99, 592610 is your item number. And then, of course, Series 1, we could call this. Episode 1, Series 1. This is the original that you've got on here. £19.99, 792389 is your item number for the original book press. I will show you the size that you're getting in there. So it's sort of like your standard size of book press that you've got as well. 792389 is your item number. The book cradle has been very busy. I think now you saw it in use, you now understand what it is. So all the bits of MDF that you see there turn into a little cradle. And then you can pack it down for storage if you haven't got a dedicated room. Jane's got a dedicated room to book. I'm lucky in my house to have a dedicated kitchen, let alone a dedicated room just for book pressing. But you know, horses for courses. All I wanted was a camper van, but I can't even get one of them. 368664 is your item number. I haven't even got a shed. That's how bad it is. Not even a shed. If you wanted to make a decorative tassel, I'm hearing in my ear, we've got a tassel. Now we all love a good tassel. We all love a good tassel for the sides of your books. And we've got a dedicated kit for this as well. And we'll see this as the day goes on as well. This is recycled sari ribbon. So we're talking high quality once again, because you know a sari's made from the best materials that you've got. £11.99. So this is your sari ribbon and tassel maker. 640497 is your item number. £11.99. And then one of our 7-day savers you might use with your book. This is the wooden leather. So looks like leather, reacts like leather, works like leather as well. £14.99. You're getting 6 pieces in total, 10 by 10, which is a large old book size as well, is what we're talking about. You could also, I'm just thinking, with woodland leather as well, and with the presses, could you make little leather key rings?
Yeah.
With the inserts, like, you know, the book ones that you have a little photo in. So you can now start going into the keyring market as well. Don't just think of books. You can now start making keyrings. You can start embossing things, I'm guessing, as well, with the pressure that's in there. It all works on the pressure. So now for £14.99, we've opened up another door, another avenue for your book press as well. 632076 is your item number. The battery's nearly run out then. Right then, Jenny. We've got about 9 minutes left.
Okay.
So, what would you like to show me?
I was going to show you quickly how to do a 3-hole bind.
Okay.
But while you were talking about that leather, made me think on it. Leather is ideal for binding books.
Yes.
Don't look at me like that.
No, I wondered where we were going.
I know you did.
I was like, where are we going with leather?
Using the press as well and the grey board. Say you cut the size of your book board, cut out your initial, stick on the top, so then that's raised. When you get your glue over the top and put your leather, use the bone folder and go in around it, and then you've got an embossed leather book cover. Simple as that.
Oh my word. So now we can start embossing with our own letters, because them books are quite expensive to buy, like, embossed
Oh yeah.
letters.
Yeah, but it's simple to do. Right, so what I'm doing here, I've just got an A5 piece of card which I've printed on both sides from DVD volume 2, this one is.
Okay.
And just folded in half with the bone folder. I've already started to fold individual sheets of paper. The cradle is also ideal for this because you can rest your pages in there as you're doing them, keeps them out the way. I always say to people to crease the pages individually.
Okay.
So you know when I did that very quick demo earlier and I literally just folded it over, you can do that, but it doesn't sit very nicely. If you've got 10 sheets, I mean I've only done it with a few sheets there, but if you've got 10 sheets of paper, it's not going to sit down very flat if you haven't creased them
So do
individually.
each one individually?
Yeah. The other thing I do is make sure that the insert sheets are very slightly smaller than the cover, so that you've got a nice little surround. So, using the same technique we did earlier.
We've had a question in from California.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. Look at us, international.
I know.
From Janie. From Janie.
From another Janie?
I know.
Wow.
There's more than one, I never knew. She says, well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. I don't know what it is over there. She said, if you're using fabric for bookbinding, would a spray adhesive work better?
It depends on the strength of the adhesive.
Okay.
So, you could do. I'm not sure how it would last around the edges. So yes, you would get a nice flat finish, but I'm not sure on the longevity of it. So yes, you could.
Give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
The other thing I would do with fabric, which I might show on the second show if I've got time, is you can make, the words have gone out of my head, book cloth. That's what you make. So if you want to cover a book with fabric, and now often fabric can have a stretch to it, and if you were to pull it over the board, it will slightly warp. You know, your pattern, it will show.
And you weft.
So you basically, I'll get you.
Oh, I'll watch the sewing bee.
So if you stick just some copy paper to the back, flatten it down in your book press, and then when it's dry, you can just wrap it around your book.
So any more questions? Send them in as well. Doesn't matter where you are, California, could be in Peterborough.
Right, so now you can see that the insert will have a nice,
let's have like a little
nice even edge. So I'm going to put that inside, and I'm going to put a binder clip just at the top to keep it in place.
Okay.
Bring in my cradle and bring in my piercing guide. So actually that's worked out pretty perfect. If you look at the edge here, 7 and 7, almost like that was planned.
We've got about 2.5 minutes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
What's the
4,
maximum
5,
number of papers
6,
we can pierce?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go through quite a few, and you can go through thicker paper. You just need to make sure where you've got this gap here, you need to comfortably be able to pierce through. The more pressure you put on, the less even it'll be. it might splay out too much
Okay.
on the back, you know. Using my thread, I'm going to tie it off on the inside, so all I need is twice the height of the book and a little bit for luck. My wax looks slightly different, but it's basically
So we
the same
literally
thing.
just run it through our fingers and run it through our thread.
Yep, so you basically hold it on the end like that and run it through. And then you've got a nice... Can you hear the squeak?
Yeah.
You've got a nice wax thread then.
Could hear the squeak.
Right, now, can I thread a needle at this time of the morning? Yes, I can.
You see, it's nearly 8 o'clock, and you never knew there was 2 8 o'clocks in a day, did you?
Right, so I'll pull that through, leave enough on the inside that I can tie it off. Up to the top. How many minutes have we got?
We've got a minute left.
Cool. Miss the centre. It's like, how quickly can you bind a book? Needle out. Pull it tight so it's nice and taut at the back.
Oh, I love
Left
this.
over right. Right over left. Cut off the excess. Depending on how much wax you've got on there, the ends will stick down
Oh,
like that.
my word.
Take that off. Book done.
As quick and as simple as that, you have now made yourself a sturdy, not going to fall apart unless you've not tied the knot correctly, personalised jotter. It could be for your watercolours, it could be for your inks, it could be for the swatches of the paint or the colours that you've got. It could be to match in your planners or your journals or that diary that you can't find the continuation for. You are now good to go, and you can start creating anything that you want to create. The world really is your oyster now, because all those bits of paper that you've got lying around, I know she's just upped it then with a curved edge. You can't go wrong with a curved edge. Look at that now, but then you could sell these. Sell them all for, thank you ever so much. You've made that look. So I walked in this morning when I was doing my Facebook Live, and I thought, no way, this is going to be a hard. I'm never going to understand it. But you made it so easy.
That's the idea.
And that's why she's the genius. She really is. We'll be back together at 10 o'clock, and I'll see you then. Don't go anywhere. There's so much more to shop for. Amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, coming up next, a show that you really don't want to miss. It's Matthew Palmer's one-day special. 8 months I've waited to do one of these shows. I know.
Hi, my name's Leona. I've been into crafting for many years now. As a little girl, I'd craft for mum and dad, but then obviously it stuck with me that much that it became my career. I think for me, crafting's so fun because there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to play with, and it's such a rewarding hobby as well. That's why I absolutely love it and recommend it to so many people. I'm really thrilled to be part of the Hochanda family. Really excited about seeing how it's grown, seeing how it's developed so far, and all the brand new things that I know we've got coming up. I'm really passionate about getting back into demonstrating on TV as well, and actually sharing techniques with you, products with you that I personally love. I hope you can tune into my shows here live at Hochanda.
Hi, I'm John Lockwood from John Next Door. I'm lucky enough to have been a guest on Hochanda since day one. I like to pack my shows with lots of hints, tips and techniques, and my idea is to give the experience that I've got and I've gained to everyone at home and show as many things as I possibly can. The John Next Door brand is designed to bring high quality, innovative products to the crafting market. The range includes stamps, dies and new products such as the media plates. I'm also looking to expand the brand and bring you lots of new techniques, new ideas and new products into the next few years. I hope you can join me on my crafting journey and learn some tips and techniques from me that I share with you. So don't forget to tune in and watch the John Next Door shows on Hochanda.
Did you know you can watch Hochanda 24 hours a day, 7 days a week using the Hochanda app on your Amazon Fire Stick for free? Just like your smartphone accesses an app store to add new applications, your Amazon Fire Stick accesses the Amazon App Store to add new applications. By downloading the Hochanda app, you'll be able to access your favourite craft channel on your TV anytime you want to watch. Here's how to do it. Simply turn on your TV and connect your Amazon Fire Stick. If this is your first time using the device, follow the on-screen instructions to connect to the internet and log into your Amazon account. Once set up, you'll need to open the search bar. To do so, simply use your remote circular directional dial to scroll to the search icon and select it. Now simply type Hochanda into the search bar and this will take you to the Hochanda app. All you need to do now is select download, and remember, it's free. Once this is added to your Fire Stick, you can move the app for easy access. Press and hold your home button on any app and then select apps from the menu that appears. Scroll down to the Hochanda app and press the button with the 3 horizontal lines on your remote and select Move to Front. And that's it! You can now watch, purchase and catch up with your favourite shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your TV whenever you feel crafty.
Hi, I'm Bev. Hi, I'm Sam. And we're from Be Crafty. Be Crafty is a family-run company. Sam is my sister. And we love bringing brand new products to Hochanda. We manufacture and design all our own ranges of stamps, inkables, MDF, lots and lots of inspiration that we love to bring and share with you.
If you tune in to Hochanda to join us, you'll see that mine and Bev's style are totally different. But what that does is it brings you lots of styles and techniques that you can include in your crafting too.
Our ranges are increasing all the time with the lovely hand-drawn images that Sam and myself are trying to bring to you, plus the fantastic new designs that we like to bring in the inkables, in the dinkables and the MDF as well, so you can use them across all different sorts of crafts and bring the best we can to Hochanda too. So make sure you don't miss the Be Crafty shows on Hochanda.
Yes, indeed. A very good morning to you. The clock has just turned. It's on the cusp of 8 o'clock, which can only mean one thing. Yes, it's time to look at your one-day special all over again. And what a one-day special we have got for you this morning. As you can see, I am surrounded by absolutely stunning, beautiful photos and paintings that in theory, you can achieve at home. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I do exactly the same. You know what I'm like, I say it as it is. There's no point saying it any other way. But you're probably sitting at home going, yeah, all right. Of course I can. Of course I can. I can't do that. I'd never be able to achieve. Well, you can. Give me at least 20 minutes of your morning, and I will take your hand, and I will prove to you that you can achieve this very painting. That you can do this at home. How beautiful is that? How alike, you just want to stand there and walk into the picture itself. Now, the details are currently on the screen, but we'll go all through them shortly. What we're looking at here is a limited, well, it's limited edition, you could say. Once it's gone, it's gone. First of all, let's get that straight out there. Once it's gone, this won't be coming back. It's limited to Hochanda as well. You can't find it anywhere else. You can go and look, but trust me, you won't. You're getting DVDs in here as well. 2.5 hours of pure quality, and it's not one of these DVDs that are just sort of one of a wide shot and you can't really see what's going on. No. That's not how Matthew works. You get every brushstroke, you get every detail, And because it's the DVD as well, what you're also going to get is you can stop and start as many times as you want. So maybe you just watch the first 10 minutes just to get an idea for it and then go back and think, right, I'm ready to go. But how daunting is a white page to start painting? It is daunting. I've tried. We've all been there. And I don't please myself. I'm trying to get into the wonderful world of colouring and watercolours, as we've said on many shows before. But that white page can be daunting. So what have we done? Matthews gives you the outline. So now all you simply have to do is, once you've got the outline, what you then can do is then you can go to town. So that white page is not as white anymore as it first was. So you've now got the detail, and all you have to do is go in and make it your own. All the tools are in there as well. Brushes, that once again, that has been designed for this job. This is not a standalone brush. This has been designed for the job that you need it to do. And you also get your paints in there as well. You're getting so much. £38.82 today will get you everything that you need. You're getting the pearl in there that gives you a hint, gives you a gloss, gives you a shine. Like snow, freshly thawed snow, the crispness of a lake as the moon shines onto the water. These are the sort of the things and the effects that you can achieve. And if you watched the shows last night, we've already worked out a jar this size will last you years. And then you get 2 colours in there as well, which you can create everything that you need. Absolutely love it. £38.82. But I'm not alone. I've got many finished samples to show you as well. Not alone at all. It's the man that puts all of this together. The sort of the master, as it were. Now, if you've ever tried to get on to one of his courses, you'll know they're extremely busy. And they're extremely busy for only one reason. He's amazing at what he does. And I'm not just saying that because he's here. He is. He's renowned all over the world. Since we've all gone into the lockdown and all that, he's now big across the world as well on the social medias. If you've ever watched some of the Facebook's lives, I tune in now and then. You sort of go, oh, I'll watch 10 minutes to see what he's up to. 45 minutes I lost the other week. Because I was just drawn in. I was drawn in thinking, actually, I think I could achieve that. Yes, he's here in the studio as well, and he's going to be demoing throughout the hours. If you've got any questions, please email them in. Matthew's here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, very
well.
excited for one of these shows. It's one of these shows that we look at and you think, it's amazing to see in real life that how quick a piece can come together.
Yeah.
And from the techniques that you do.
Yeah, exactly. I've spent a lifetime of working on this, you know, and I'm a self-taught artist, and all the techniques I've learned over all these years, you know, I teach them. So, because I had no one teach me, you know, and I wanted to have that tuition, but it just wasn't there, you know. So the way I teach you guys at home is the way that I wanted to be taught. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
And that's what this DVD is all about, this one day special. And it's not just about painting Paris, you know. You've got the skies to think about, you've got the trees, and of course included in this one day special is that beautiful tree and texture brush, which is designed by me to give beautiful stipple techniques. And we can see here actually right at the start, look, we put the sketch in, and you mentioned this, Adam, you said that the white paper is scary, but we've given you the outline that you could use again and again. And an interesting thing is that with the outline and the tuition from the disc, you don't just have to do the sort of springtime, summer scene in Paris. You could do a snow scene, an autumn scene. It really has got a big variation. And the DVD, as you can see there, is filmed overhead. You see every colour and every brushstroke. Nothing's cut out of this.
And which is amazing as well, because remember, you're also buying into techniques. Yes, you're buying into a beautiful set of the Paris scene and the Paris landscape, but you're also buying into a technique. So then you can achieve people, you can achieve skyline and the trees and the texture and the buildings. It's all there for you. So take the jump. All you simply need to do, 269746 is your item number, £38.82 today, and then you can create so much more. Let me show you just some of the finished samples that we've got here as well. So you've got the glisten on this thing. So if I show, you see how it sparkles? Look at that. And this is in your kit. And remember, once you've learnt the technique, you can now achieve all these techniques as well. And you can go from the small, look at that as the sunset. It's absolutely beautiful on the little schminky that you're getting there as well. I just like saying the word. I've been saying it all morning. It's a lovely little kit as well that you're also getting here. Remember, it's tuition. You're buying into tuition. It's a private class whenever you want to take it. It's also a beautiful giftable as well. A stunning giftable. Someone, maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a niece, a nephew, a son, a daughter that wants to start painting, but they don't know where to start. And out there it can be a daunting world. It really is to say, well, I need one of these, I'll need one of them, I'll need one of these. Condense it all down. Get yourself a kit. Once you've got your kit, you know you've got the best of everything already, and just start small and then progress. Don't just jump in straight at the deep end, because you'll be overwhelmed with what you can achieve and what's already out there. These kits have been put together especially for you. £38.82 today. 269746 is your item number. Now, there's something else that you may want to join. Maybe you've been at this for a while and you're thinking, I'm getting the feel for this now, I'm getting a taste for this, but I want to join. I would like to join the SAA. Well, we've got a cracking little deal that Matthew's going to talk through now as well. All we're going to say is now, though, is don't buy it off our website. It's very rare I say that. Just do not put it in your website. Click the membership button at the bottom and it will take you through to this other website that we've got now. So, Matthew, for those people that may have just started off, they've heard about it but don't really know about it, what are we getting in the kit when we join up?
Right, so we've come here with the annual membership to the SAA. And I just want to quickly sort of whiz over what that is all about. So as part of your membership to the SAA, now, I've been a member since '93. I worked this out a few days ago, so that's quite a long time. And I've kept that membership alive because it keeps the paint flowing around your veins, if you know what I mean.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that's a good little phrase like that. The SAA is basically, it's the inspiration, it's the encouragement to keep the paint flowing. It's all the mediums, right through oils, acrylics, pastels. So a yearly membership, which is £45, you're going to get this thing, which is a wonderful magazine called Paint. Now, this is only for members, and this is a thick, glossy mag. It comes direct to your door. You get 6 a year. And if I can grab this and give it a bit of a flick open, I'm just going to find a particular page in this because this is the latest edition. And if I can get to the right page, maybe I should have prepared this earlier. We have, there we go. There's a beautiful painting by a wonderful artist called Matthew Palmer. Yeah, look at this. I mean,
he's meant to be good.
There you go. I'll get the camera steady. There you go. And you can see here that we've got this sort of sunset over San Francisco. So it's full of step-by-step. Every issue, you get these gorgeous step-by-steps sent out to you. Not just watercolours, but everything. And that's just one of the things you get. So you get a magazine subscription. You get home shop catalogue. Big discounts, free shipping to all members. Big discounts, that's a big thing. So it's almost trade prices in there. You're going to get your membership card, you're going to get your car sticker, you're going to get £5 to spend in that catalogue as well as part of that membership, so you can take £5 off the £45 as well. But here's the cool thing, there is so much more to the SAA now than there's ever been, because we're also giving you access to the massive online community that only members can get. And one big thing about this, if you think of the video on demand that's out there, you know, the famous TV sharing sites, you know, things like, there's one that starts with an N, you know what I'm
I know what you mean.
A famous one. Well, the SAA's got that for painters, basically, and it's a massive thing. It's got hundreds of hours of art video on demand. I've got loads of stuff on there as well. So that's part of the membership as well. But if you join through Hochanda, via the link on the website that we mentioned, we're going to give you 3 primary colours, artist quality colours here, blue, a yellow and a red. We're going to give you 10 sheets of practice watercolour paper and this really cool bag. This is officially the TARDIS of bags, because if you check this out here, okay, this looks like a normal bag.
It does, it looks like normal.
But then it kind of turns into Batman's wings. Let's see if we can get this thing. So it basically allows you to sort of do this, and you can kind of get, you know, you can sort of, look at that for a good shot. That's a quality, symmetrical shot right there. And that is a wonderful product. That is free. Now, this totals to £38 in value. So we're giving you £38 worth of watercolour and storage gear if you join the SAA via the link on the Hochanda website.
And it has to be via the link as well, remember. We've got a few people with it in their basket at the moment. It's very rare I say this. Cancel it now. take it out of your basket and go right the way to the bottom where it says click here for membership. And once you go through, then you'll be eligible for your freebies as well. Remember, it's over £38 worth of freebies is what you're getting in that kit, is what you're looking at. But remember your one-day special, very busy across the board already. You're getting so much in there. Remember, watch back on Rewind as well. I watched the launch show this morning, and there's so many little hints and tips that Matthew gives you over the course of the day to really just get you started. To start you on that journey itself is what you're currently looking at. Right then, let's get straight in. We're starting that journey because you have to start somewhere. And where are we starting this morning?
Okay, so I'm just going to start with the one-day special again, and I want to mention a little bit about what's included, because yes, we're giving you this DVD to paint this gorgeous scene of Paris, of course. Now, I think, if I'm right in saying that, is the DVD available on its own as well?
Yeah.
But it very much is it's a collector's edition. We've literally only produced enough for this one-day special, okay? And I don't know what the stock is like at the minute, but it's a wonderful thing to get all the folks and stick in your collection. It's nice to watch, relax to, or paint along with, because there's 2.5 hours and you'll produce this gorgeous scene of Paris. So much to take away from this, but we're going to give you some special tools as well. We're going to give you a tree and texture brush. It's the small tree and texture brush, which is wonderful. It's a brush I designed quite a few years ago, and we'll see that in action a little bit later as well. We're giving you 2 watercolour paints as well. And we've got the gorgeous, first time we've seen this here on Hochanda, the Intense Violet, and a metallic watercolour called Pearl, and we'll see that in action again. That's a beautiful, it gives like a sort of, a very incidental sort of satin kind of shimmer to your paintings. But my favourite item, apart from the DVD in this, is the Aqua Shine, and we can see that there on the screen. So Aqua Shine, I'm going to show you that in use now, actually. I've got a painting here with the most romantic city in the world, Adam. Where's that?
Oh, to Paris or...
Close.
Rome.
Manchester, actually.
Oh,
so
yes,
this
it's up there with them.
Yeah, it's up there, isn't it? It's in the top 10. It's in the top 10. So we've got Manchester here, and I've actually painted this just with one colour. And if we give this a bit of a wiggle at the bottom here in the ground, can we see that Aqua Shine come alive? Now it's light responsive, which means it catches the light. Imagine it's a metallic car, and when the sunlight catches it or the artificial light catches it, it just turns it into this gorgeous scene. I've also used it on this winter scene as well here, and I've used it in the snow to make it look like it's a little bit on the frosty side. So if we give this a bit of an artistic wiggle, hopefully we can see it just kind of catching. It just kind of catches the light, don't it? It's a lovely surface to work on as well, because don't forget we're giving you 5 sheets of the paper as well. And the paper is 100% cotton, okay? Now that makes a big difference because it's absorbent, and there's paper, and of course there's paper, and this is the second, you know, this is extremely nice quality paper. We have had such a hard battle getting this paper, because the world's crazy at the minute, as we know, and getting this paper back in stock for you guys, it has been a bit of an interesting challenge, but we've got it here for this one-day special. It makes the world of difference. Just finally here, we've got this seascape with a beach shot here, and can we see, if I do a bit of a wiggle in the water, can we see the light catching the waves? It kind of brings the waves alive, if you like, and it just makes the painting so much more lively. And what's really nice about this, you can sort of get paintings that you've had for a while, like these ones here, and you can apply this stuff to it. It's designed for watercolours. This bottle will last you absolutely years. I've had a bottle of this, in fact, I want to hold that there and show you the bottle that I've had here for around 5 years, I reckon. And it's a bit tired, but it's still got some left in it, and it still works fine. So Schminky make wonderful mediums for watercolours, okay, and it's a gorgeous stuff to use. Now, just very quickly, I'm going to show you this on a painting. So I painted this a couple of weeks ago, actually. It was one of the live demos that I did. And I'm just going to take some of this literally straight from the bottle with just a standard brush, and you can see it makes the brush sparkle as well. And I'm just going to paint this on. Now on this picture here we've got the moon coming down, so we know where to put the light. I'm just going to basically sweep it across, and we can just keep adding more of this, and it goes a mile, this stuff, it really does. We can bring it down, and it just adds a wonderful bit of life. It's very incidental, which means it's not glitter, it's not tacky, if I can use that word. It's just there, and if we look here, we can see that it just kind of catches the...
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful, isn't it? It really is, and it just transforms it. It's the kind of thing that you wander past and you just sort of catch it, you think, oh, you know, and then you look back at it, and it really does work. Last night on the 8 p.m. show, I popped it in the eyes of this cat. This is Oscar here, and we can see the light in the eyes. Can we see that little... There you go. Makes them look almost real, don't it? Like 3D glossy. And of course, it would work on any picture. Snow scenes, it works an absolute treat on as well.
Look
So
at
it would work
that.
on any watercolour scene. This is a painting from around sort of 2012, I reckon, something like that. And if I was to pop some aqua shine just sort of down here, it just becomes part of the snow, and it will make it look all nice and frosty. But of course, as we mentioned, it's not just about winter scenes, it's about putting light and life into your watercolour pictures. And on the Paris painting, we're going to give you the nice option of putting this where the moon reflects in the rainy streets, if that makes sense, and that's what it's going to be on this one. And it's actually been used to reflect that moon, which is a gorgeous thing. So,
Matthew, am I right in saying what you're about to paint and demo now,
yes.
is that what we're giving away during the hour as well, that anyone buys the one-day
yes,
special?
we are actually, yes. So basically I want to do a demo, folks, and if anyone buys the one-day special I was saying, this painting will be given away to somebody. So yes, absolutely, 100%.
Nice, there you go. So get in while you can. That's your one-day special, £38 and 82 pence. 269746 is your item number. Right then, back to Matthew.
Okay, so let's have a think about how we're going to paint this. I want to use a white piece of paper. I've stuck it to a board. Now, these boards are also available. I think they were quite popular last night, actually. I want to take some masking tape. I'm going to pop this down so we're kind of working half the size. And I'm actually going to paint a coastal scene, a seascape on this one. Now, obviously, the one-day special contains 2 colours, but we shall be using more colours on this demo, so we have the pick and mix available. Now, it does include the gold and the 25th anniversary silver as well, so the complete metallic collection is the pearl, the silver, the gold, so it's a really nice set of paints. Now, because I've been using aquashine to do a bit of a demo, it's made this water very attractive. We have attractive water here, we've got sparkle. I don't know whether you can see this or not, if I sort of hold that there. And you can actually add a few brush, there you go, look at that sparkle there, lovely. You can, that's good water, that, isn't it?
It's like unicorn water, as my daughter would say.
Straight from the tap in this building, that.
Well, you see, that's where the magic happens.
Magic water. And the thing is with this, that sparkle will carry through this painting now because it's in the water. That's another way to use aquashine, of course, which is great. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to paint a sky. So I'm basically going to put the water on, and I'm using the brush that's in the one-day special. Now, it's so important to say that this paper, if anybody's been using this paper, you know, let us know, because it really does make a big difference to your painting. It stays flat, it doesn't go wrinkly or cockly, if you like, and it just basically allows the paint to flow cleanly and smoothly, and that is what is so important about watercolour paper. It's the big difference. So I'm just wetting it all the way through, and I'm going to start off by adding some of the pearl to the base of the sky. Now, this is almost a transparent colour, but it just puts a little bit of life, and that will mix with the other colours very shortly. So that's going to come through first. So it's a very transparent colour, but it contains a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, which when it dries, we'll see that. So at the minute, it's just like watching paint dry, but we'll get there. We will get there. Now, let's introduce some of the violet to this. Now, we're going to use the violet fairly pale on this particular picture. So we'll get the violet in. Nice kind of sweep as it comes through. So that's the violet from the one-day special, which is very nice. And we'll work it in. Leave a few light patches here and there. Now, I've put a lot of water on that paper. I'm working almost vertical, but it's worth saying that the paint is not flowing all over the place. It's not It's not turned to rain, and that's because I'm using cotton paper, and that's the biggest difference, really. So I'll bring that down and let it kind of fade. Now, I'll pop some of that down here, and that can be part of the water. Horizontal brush strokes. And then we also have some of the colours that are in the pick and mix to bring into play here as well. So I want to introduce some blue. Now here we've got this colour, which is a lovely pastel colour called Potter's Blue, and I love this one. And I can see why it's called Potter's Blue, because it's got that kind of Wedgwood kind of blue to it. It's like a pastel shade of blue. Again, it's part of the pick and mix. It's a lovely special effect colour. I'm going to work this in the foreground a little bit down there, just to bring a bit of light into the water, into the sea, this little bit of sea, and then making sure it's all smoothly blending in. This is just the one brush. And then one of the best colours is gold, which is, again, part of the pick and mix. There's the gold. That's going to go right in the corner. Let's put a golden beach in. We've got the perfect colour for this. Bring it across.
Nice.
Nice and thick with the gold. I'm going to let that just kind of disappear into the water a little bit. So that is the metallic gold. And we'll see these colours come alive more once they've had a little bit of time to dry, of course. So just little spiky bits of lines. Beautiful. And nice and strong with the gold. And then we shall leave that to dry, and we'll come back to it in a couple of minutes. And we're going to turn this into a Caribbean beach in the evening. We're going to put palm trees on and distant mountains as well. Let's let that dry.
While we let that dry, did you notice that there was no change of brushes? It was the same brush that you're getting in your one-day special. There was no, the only real difference is with the pick and mix and paints, which we're going to look live at in a minute. Something else that we've seen, though, that you're absolutely loving, you're really shopping ahead on the website this morning, which is good, is your drawing board. Now, there's a large drawing board on there as well. It's £12.99 is what you're looking at. 429098 is your item number. It's lightweight, which is nice. You can use it portrait and landscape. It's easy to use on your lap, like a little table, really, or as an easel if you wanted to. Unfortunately, it is UK customers only for this dispatch. If you are watching from anywhere else other than the UK, just for this item and this item alone, this is only for UK customers only. £12.99. 429098 is your item number. Something else that you found, though, on the website is our watercolour palette. This is one that Matthew's currently using at the moment. It's easy clean and it's £9.95. If you're going to go all out, you might as well go out and get a decent palette as well. 936824 is your item number for the palette. But we are very busy for your one-day special. This is a limited edition while stocks last offer. Once it's gone, it is gone. There'll be no making phone calls to anyone else that's currently not in the building saying, can we get any more, please, we need some more. Once it's gone, it is gone, and it won't be coming back. £38.82. You are going to be creating this beautiful scene of Paris that you've created. That's right, you're going to be creating it. You're going to be making it with the tutorial and the help of Matthew on the DVD as well that we've already got on here. So you're getting 2.5 hours worth of footage on that DVD. 2.5 hours. This is taken from the DVD itself, so you're going to be guided through, holding your hand every step of the way. And if you miss a bit, stop it, rewind it, you can watch it back. But you're not just getting a DVD about how to create the beautiful landscape in Paris, you're getting a DVD on how to create, well, sort of different techniques. So you're talking about landscapes, you're talking about sky, you're talking about shadows and the colours and how you put everything together. A perfect way to start. An amazing way to start, of 2.5 hours of pure tradition, and it sort of guides you, is the words you're sort of looking for. And if you're thinking, well, it won't, Adam, I like the idea, but I won't be able to achieve it. You will. You've just got to take your step. You get from the white paper, but you've also then got the outline. The outline will guide you. It's not that sort of white page syndrome that you look at it and you think, oh, where do I start? Where do I put the brush? You've got the outline already on there. Then we've got the brush as well. This is the tree and texture brush that we're looking at. This is the same brush as well that Matthew's used throughout the one-day specials so far. So you can create more than what you're actually creating here, which I think is amazing. And then you get the colours and the paints included as well. Especially this one gives you that sort of little hint, your aqua shine that you get on there. There are so many samples back here that I can show you it's on. So if you can see, I can catch it in the light. You see it just shine and glisten, so it does give you that sort of reflective look that you get on sort of water on there, or just after it rains and it's just started to dry up. I think it's absolutely stunning. There is so much you can use it for. £38.82 today, and nearly 40% of the stock has now already gone. 269746 is your item number for these. As I said, maybe you've been to a few of the classes and you're thinking, well, I quite enjoyed that. I want to have another little go. Go for this. Go for this little bundle. Something else that you might also like, though, is the watercolour pick and mix that we've got on the show. So you do want to create the other scenes that you've got. You've been on a few classes. Maybe you've done some of the virtual classes online as well. I know they're running throughout the week. I think there's another one on Saturday, which is the beach huts, which would be lovely. But you need your pick and mix. So you've got your silver, which is this one just here. You've also got your gold. You've got your lemon in there. You've got your natural opaque white. You've got your potter's pink. You've got your potter's blue. You've got your potter's green and translucent grey as well. Now, the question that I would be asking, currently sitting at home, is going, this is all well and good, Adam. I can pick 3, but which 3 do I go for? Well, let's ask the man himself while we've got him here. As it is a pick and mix,
Yes.
and let's go for, we're just starting out. We've done a bit in the past, but we're just starting out. What 3 colours would you go for that you say you would get the most out of?
So if you're buying the one-day special, so you've already got a couple of colours there anyway. I would add in the silver, the gold, and the translucent grey. That's the 3 colours. So, and the silver is the 25th anniversary one, so that's a bit of a limited edition colour that was made for the SAA anniversary. So the silver, the gold, translucent grey. And
the translucent grey, which is right the way down the other end. The silver and the gold are limited stock. I'll tell you that now. So these 2 are limited stock, and then the translucent grey is the one down the end as well. If you want to go for 3 colours that you're going to use time and time again, maybe those 3 would be the ones to go for if you're just starting out. If your budget will stretch, go for another 3 colours if you wanted to as well. It's entirely up to you, but I would get in quick. Them silvers and golds are now limited stock. £16.99, 436182 is your item number. Now, something else that you're all loving, but people are still putting it in their baskets, and I don't know how easy it is to tell you, do not put it in your basket. Now, what I'm talking about is your SAA membership, okay? Now, your membership, do not add, I don't even know why we have that button on the website, to be fair. Do not add it to your basket. Scroll all the way down to description, and then it says, click here for SAA membership. So once you click go there, then you purchase it from here, because then you will get all your freebies. And talking about freebies, what a set of freebies you're getting, Matthew.
It is. This is an awesome set, and it's an awesome offer, because if you normally join the SAA, you just get your welcome pack, which is great, you know, £45 for the year. You get your catalogue with the discounts and your shipping. You get that beautiful glossy mag, membership card, the access to the video on demand that we spoke about earlier, loads of stuff. You know, you get discounts on exhibitions and shows, and you get invited to competitions. It's a wonderful artistic world, is the SAA. Now, again, if we join through Hochanda for that membership fee, we're going to give you so much more. We're going to give you the 3 primary colours here, which is the red, the yellow and the blue. We're going to give you practice paper, which is here, 10 sheets of that. It's alive this morning. 10 sheets of SAA practice paper. Nice thick watercolour stock there. £5 spending the catalogue, and of course this wonderful SAA branded carry case as well. This is all part of your membership to the SAA, so a super organisation. Anyone that paints should be a member. And of course, what's really nice about this is you can join for somebody else as well. So gift memberships are also a thing as well. Is a birthday coming up, something like that? It's a wonderful thing for somebody. This is for 12 months as well. And again, please don't forget to scroll down to the bottom and click on the link, the pink link, as Alex said last night.
The pink link, I like that. Because if you don't, you can more than willingly buy it through the website. Knock yourself out, but the only problem that you're going to get there is when it comes home, you're not going to get your over £38 worth of goodies. And that's why one person has bought through us, and that's going to be phone the call centre now. If you've bought this membership in this hour and you've not bought it through the link, you just pressed add to basket and you've added it with your one-day special, ring the call centre and say I want to cancel. The man on the TV has just told me to cancel. I will take the brunt for you, don't worry, and go through the SAA. Okay, we don't want you missing out on your free goodies. If you've bought it through the website, you are going to miss out on it. So if that was you, unfortunately I can't find your name, otherwise I'd name check you. If that was you that's bought it through our website and you've added to basket, check it out now. Okay, so just come out of it, ring the call centre, and we'll sort it all out for you. Do not fear. And if they can't, message me and I'll have a word with them. Right then. You know, say it as it is. I don't want to miss out. There's 38 quiz worth of goodies there. Right then, are we all dry and ready to go?
So I've just used a hairdryer just to give it a quick blast over, just to make sure it is nice and dry. Just want to quickly mention the pearl, because it's just nicely dried now. I've got a painting here that I did last Christmas, actually. And it's a little perky robin on a little post. If we look at the back here, if we give this a bit of a... Again, can you see that nice shimmer? Now, that's the pearl that does that. Again, it's quite incidental, but it's beautiful. It really sits nice and just adds difference, and it really suits the winter scenes. And I know here at Hochanda that you're getting ready for your sort of Christmas event coming up this weekend, if I'm right in saying that. So it's a wonderful thing, folks, and the violet goes alongside. Now, the pearl can be added to any other colour to make it that kind of pearlescent metallic feel. Now on here we are nice and dry, so what I want to do now is make this into a nice kind of Caribbean evening. We're talking cocktails, what else we're talking, a bit of music like we had at the beginning of the show, things like that. It all fits in nice. So I've got some masking tape here, okay, and I'm going to pop this across. Just a little bit kind of where the beach is here. And my first thing to do is to paint in some of those distant hills, volcanoes, that kind of thing. Again, using the same brush. And then we're going to paint in some palm trees. So violet, beautiful colour, included in your one-day special. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit of gold with that, just to make it a touch of a sort of different shade here. Very transparent colour. I'm going to paint in some distant...
sorry to chip in, Matthew. The silver and gold on the pick and mix has now sold out. So these two have now sold out. Okay, so so if you're going for the silver and gold, unfortunately, that has now finished. That has now sold out. You've still got other colours available online as well. So check out that pick and mix. If I was you, you can use any three. Sorry, Matthew, back to you.
That's okay, that's fine. So I'll just use a bit of water there just to sort of smooth that in. And imagine violet is a nice shadow colour. Now, people might think that the translucent grey is better for shadows. It's a bit dark, that one, for shadows, but it's a nice colour to mix alongside. So if I put some of the translucent grey in here, it mixes nice with the violet, and it will give me a little bit of darkness to the base of this area, which is nice. And I'm actually going to use this brush to lightly stipple as well. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stipple around the base, just to put some little sort of distant, not so much trees, but just distant stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, look at that.
Just a little bit of stipple stuff. And this is a stipple brush. And we'll see that in action a little bit more so when we do the palm trees in a second or two. Let's take the tape off nice and steady. That'll give us a clean edge, and it's giving us some distance, and of course we've got this kind of beach here. Now I'm going to pop some palm trees here with this brush again. I'll show you how nice this brush is. Remember, this single brush, you know, and it's just such a useful thing to work with. I'm going to use some of the potter's colours. We've got the yellow, the red and the blue here, and of course the green as well.
Well, now the silver and gold side, what would you say now would be your three colours to go for in your pick and mix?
I'd go for the... I think the three potters colours, if you can say that without laughing, it's wonderful. It's like a gorgeous kind of pastel shade. I love them. So yeah, I go for the potter's blue, red and green. Love them colours. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to take some of the potter's red, which is here. I want to mix this with a bit of the violet as well, so it makes it a little bit darker. And then I want to pop in some of that grey as well, the translucent grey. So it's making a nice kind of dark kind of colour here. Beautiful. Now, I want to use this brush And if we take a look at the brush for a second, we can see it's a very spiky brush designed for stippling, okay? It's also, you can see, it's got this kind of slope to it. It's got an angled head, which means it's a natural painting angle. We thought about this. This is the small tree and texture brush, again, part of that one-day special. So let's pop some palm trees in. We're going to come down here. First of all, with this kind of dark colour. Let's do a couple of these, shall we? Bring that one down as well. Put some more paint up there. Now, as we know, palm trees have a bit of texture to them. So let's just use this brush for sweeping over. So I'm sort of sweeping it over to one side to get that kind of shape. Now imagine silver birch trees as well. You could do a silver birch kind of shape with this.
Yeah.
So I'm just lightly sort of striking it to one side. You could do grasses with it as well. And that's why it's called the tree and texture. It's not just about painting stippling trees, you know. So that's given me a lovely effect there. Now at the top of these trees, palm trees, there's normally like a little bit of, like a large area. So we'll do a little bit of a stumpy large area just there. And then I'm going to pop some shadows. Now, for me, I'm going to put the shadows coming towards me here. I'll soften these in a second. So I'm just going to pop a couple of lines coming down. Clean brush on the tissue there. And then I'm just going to use that water just to smooth it out a little bit. And even just make it a little bit wider at the base. And put some stipples around. It could be a little bit of foliage or a little bit of rocky area or something like that. Of course, what's missing from these is the fronds of the palm tree, which we'll get to in a second. So I'm just popping a little bit of interest, a little bit of darkness around there in that corner. And actually hanging around the back of the easel, there's all sorts down here, you wouldn't believe. It's a good job the camera can't see you down here. I've got an SA membership card again, and I'm going to use this just to pop in some little
While
rocks.
you do that, we've had a question in from Dale.
Okay.
Dale or Gail? Oh, Gail. She said she's loving the show. She's bought the one-day special and the drawing board for her husband, who's about to take up a new hobby.
Great.
She wants to know what sort of tape you're using.
Okay. So it's just a nice quality masking tape, you know, it's kind of a low-tack tape, but really when it comes to masking tapes, you kind of get what you pay for, if you know what I mean. This particular one is one that we do online on Watercolour TV. It's a special one that I've kind of, you know, I've chosen this tape, but just a nice quality masking tape. That's it, basically.
She's also a question about the cut paper. So watercolour.tv, Gail, is what you need. So does the paper dry normal, or is it quick drying? Like, or do you just do a bit?
Yeah, right. So the thing that you want really is you want your paper to stay wet for as long as possible, because it gives you more time to work with your paint. And 90% of papers that are out there are made from wood pulp, you know, and watercolour is no exception. But this is quite a rare paper because it's made from cotton, and that makes such a difference, because if you think of cotton as super absorbent, the water goes in, which holds the water for about 30–40% longer than if it was a wood-based paper. That's a big difference, and it stays nice and flat, it's smooth, it's got a gorgeous texture to it. It really is a premium paper, I can't say that enough. Makes such a difference.
Fab, thank you very much. I hope that answered your questions. Any more questions, keep them coming. studio@hochanda.com. Send in your photos as well, your fake pictures that you painted. I'd like to see them.
Let's use some of the Potter's Green. I'm going to have a little squirt of this. Now again, the Potter's colours are part of the pick and mix. And, you know, if you're buying 3, you've got a few options. You go for the blue, you go for the green, you go for the translucent grey. That's a nice option. You could go for all the Potters, the blue, the red and the green. I'm going to use the green here, but I want to mix it with some of the grey. So we're getting a sort of dark kind of green colour here. Beautiful. And then I want to bring this up to the picture and want to add some of those lovely, almost kind of silhouetted palm tree fronds with this tree brush. Now we start off by painting in the sort of main stem. See that sort of dark green I've mixed? I'll put a few of these on, get one coming up there as well. down here, and down there. So I'm going to put those on first, and then what we do is we look how effective this brush is at doing that sort of grassy effect, and you can see where we're going with this now, can't you? Now, if you try and imagine doing that with a normal brush, you can do it, but you won't get that randomness, and you won't get the lovely texture that we're creating here as well. And that's what's really nice about this. But you can mix any old green and do this, of course, but I've gone for a dark green. I've added the translucent grey, which for me is a colour that is designed to darken colours a little bit. It's not really a shadow colour, because the violet that's in the One Day Special is a much nicer shadow colour than the grey. But the grey is lovely to add that bit of darkness to any colour, and you can see how that makes a wonderful sort of palm effect. It's lovely to see. Right at the end we can make it thin, we can taper it off. One of the main reasons that we designed the brush with this angle is because you can use the top edge. So if I rotate this upside down, I can use that top edge to get a finer line, if that makes any sense, and then it's a way of having a little bit more control over what you're painting. And just remember, there's no sketching involved, you know, and these virtual workshops that we're talking about are no exception, you know, because they're happening pretty much every weekend, and hundreds of people from all over the world are taking part in them. You know, people at home just painting along with me. It's wonderful, and it's been such a buzz, you know, doing those during all this craziness that's happened in the world.
I'm going to ask Matthew, even though I'm not
Yes.
meant to. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. Where do I find these virtual workshops?
Okay, that's a good question.
Go on, Matthew. Go on, do it. We keep hinting.
If you go over to watercolour.tv, click on the workshop tab, the one on this Saturday, as you rightly said, is beach huts, and these are examples of what we've been doing actually over here. So these are virtual workshop pictures from butterflies. We've done, you know, this dragonfly. We've done this wonderful sort of cherry blossom tree, and it's no sketching. People's been loving these. Well done.
It's all right. I told you I'd get it in someday.
Now, let's take a quick glance at the palette here, folks, and let's have a look what's in the palette. We've got all sorts happening. Let's use some diluted violet here. We've got some nice violet here. I'm going to pop some shadows in the foreground. There's always a bit of darkness and a bit of shadow. So that is a very weak violet, but look how that's giving me shadows to that water. Beach even. We can also use the brush very spiky, just to give it a bit of a stipple on the back of the hand. You can see it's all very, look at that, elegant. And we're just going to basically pop some little horizontal lines across.
We've got about 10 minutes left, Matthew.
Stripes across the water. Now, the one thing that we've not used in this picture, of course, is, and don't forget that anyone that buys the One Day Special, folks, in the next 10 minutes can win this picture, so it's a great time to get in. And just have a think about the saving here. You know, you're saving £25. If you work out the price of each individual item in this One Day Special from the DVD, which is the star of the show for me, because that has been produced just for you guys here. It's a bit of a collector's thing, you know, just enjoy the video. But if you break it down, it's a super offer, a super saving, and you can learn so much from this One Day Special. It's brilliant. But the one thing that we've not used is the aqua shine on this picture. And now the painting's pretty much complete. I want to pop some of this in, and it's going to give me a wonderful sort of shine to the water. Now I want to use this quite strong here, quite thick. So I'm just going to take this straight from the bottle, and we're going to pop in some little horizontal lines of this coming down in the water. Like I say, it's not aggressive, it's not tacky, and it doesn't destroy brushes because it washes off, and it really adds a lovely shine to this. And actually, do you remember me saying right at the beginning of this painting that I popped in, it was in the water pot? Well, this entire picture's got a glisten to it, and I want to try and show you this on the camera, so I'm just going to move it down here a touch, and I want to give this a bit of a bit of a wobble.
There you go.
And it's in the water. It just looks stunning, don't it? It's such a simple process, but it's in the entire picture, and the entire scene's got a gorgeous kind of sheen to it. Now, if you've never painted before and you produced a picture like this, I'd like to think you'd be quite happy, you know. And if we take the tape off, that's like unveiling the picture, because that crisp white edge always looks beautiful. But that to me is a nice watercolour, folks, you know. And the gorgeous violet, that beautiful brush, and of course the techniques that we've used here are also used throughout the Paris picture in that DVD as well.
It is absolutely stunning. We started off with a blank page, and that is what you can achieve if you have the right tools for the job. And the right tools for the job are in your one-day special. But before I show you your one-day special, I love this, doing these bits. Nigel, your picture's about to be on the telly box. He started painting 4 months ago. He said Matthew was such a great teacher. He's now able to create his own compositions.
Yes, so this is one of the pictures that we did on the virtual workshops.
What, Watercolour.tv?
That's the one. And this is, and Nigel has taken part, and he's taken the inspiration from those and has applied this to his own version of Stonehenge. Beautiful.
It is stunning. So he started off with not knowing anything and gone on to the virtual classes. And remember, because they're virtual, Matthew's sort of there, but he's sort of only in your screen. So you sort of have to go, you're sort of on your own, as it were, but there's so many things that you can achieve from this. Well done, Nigel. It's absolutely stunning. You should be very, very proud of yourself. 269, this is not the item number now for this painting, by the way. 269-746 is your item number. There's me selling off Nigel's painting, bless him. £38.82. You're getting the 5 sheets of the cotton paper that's already in there as well. Stunning. So hard to come by, but we've managed to get it for a limited amount as well for your one-day special. You're getting the outline, so if you're struggling, you're thinking, I don't really know how to start, I want to put the brush to the page, so I don't know where to start. You get the outline there already that you can use time and time again. You're also getting 2.5 hours on the DVD that will break through from blank page to finished photo, to finished work. It will all be there for you as well. So from that DVD and the tools that you get here, you can create this. You wouldn't think it, would you? But you can. You can achieve this, just like our Nigel did. You can be achieving this, and then you'll go on for bigger and better things, as it were, and your work will really start coming through. And you get the colours in there, and you also get that glisten and shine, which I absolutely love. Your aqua shine in there as well as the brush. Not just any old brush, a brush that you can use for so many things. It's the tree and texture brush is what you're getting as well. 269-746 is your item number. If you're becoming a member of this, though, you're thinking, and this is a journey that you're absolutely going to love, you might want to go on another journey. You might want to go a step further, as it were. The SAA standard annual membership is what we've got. Don't buy off our website. Scroll to the bottom. There are so many things that you can get included into your membership as well. One of the facts I remember, there's over 800 hours of VT on there, is what I read the other day.
Yeah, so you get the video on demand, which is kind of a new kind of thing, really, and it was introduced kind of September last year, and that was brought in to give you that kind of video on demand service for art. I think I've got over 70 hours of content on there myself, so there's a lot of stuff on there, folks, you know, and it's all part of this membership deal. The SAA, the biggest art group in the world, it's this side, not that side, and it's a wonderful organisation for all artists of all levels. The encouragement, the inspiration, it's all there for you. You get the magazine, you get the catalogues, you get the big discounts, you get 10 sheets of watercolour paper here, practice paper. This is only via the link on the Hochanda website. We'll give you the membership card, we'll give you the access to the video on demand, we'll give you loads of cool stuff, and we'll give you 3 paints. This is the offer now. Think about the price of that offer. It's £38 worth of value we're giving you for free in the form of 3 paints, 10 sheets of paper, and of course that beautiful bag, that gorgeous carry case that opens up 4 times in size. It's designed for watercolours, this. It's a gorgeous thing. I use these when I go on my travels, pop all the bits in there. So it's £45 for the year, but remember, we're going to give you £38 back straight away, and even better, we're going to give you a £5 to spend in the catalogue, included in your SAA membership, all those gorgeous things. There is also, just here, I'm going to creep it in slowly, a £5 voucher to spend in this catalogue here, which is included in your membership. So actually, you're almost in profit, aren't you?
Well, you are, really, from what,
almost,
35, 40...
almost in profit.
Yeah, you are, really, aren't you? So, for all the freebies that you're getting, SAA membership, find it on the website, scroll down to the description, the link is there. Don't buy it through our website, you must go through this website if you want all those beautiful freebies as well. If you want them, over £38 worth of goodies in there, and the only way of getting them is going through their website as well. Very busy across the board. We also need to do our winner as well. Congratulations to Denise Birchall. Denise Birchall, congratulations. The prize is yours. You are winning that beautiful painting that we've done during the hour as well. So congratulations. This is the painting that you're going to be winning. We'll be whisking its way to you. Give us a couple of days and we'll send it through to you. This will be yours. I'll have pride of place on the top shelf, no doubt, at the top of the stairs, talking about... Matthew might even sign it. I know. He might even put his website on there, watercolour.tv. He's also going to sign it now for you. There is so many things. I'm just going to show you the beautiful, beautiful landscapes that you've got on here as well, and what you can create. Once you start this journey, you can now start creating beautiful structures like this. But you've also got, in this one-day special, you're also getting the hint and shine, the glitter and shine in there. So now you can turn all your works. Look at these now. How beautiful is that? I'm going to try and get through as many as I can through this hour as well. Then you've got things like this. Look at this. How stunning is that? But then, with the schminky, it's just here you can see it. With the little schminky that's in there, you've got that little hint. So you can also use it, so you can use it on snow, but then you can also use it on your seascapes. The little beach huts here, we've mentioned them throughout the hour. Saturday with our Matthew via the virtual world. You could create images a bit like this. It's good to do. Good to have a little look. I've got so many here as well. I'm going to go through all of them until I'm told I'm not allowed to anymore. Look at that. It's just catching here. And remember, obviously yours is of Paris, but once you've got the techniques, who was the gentleman that emailed in a minute ago? Nigel. Just like Nigel, this is how he started. He started with that blank page, and now he's creating his own. He's started doing his own work. But then, as you said, if you put it into the water, like, because when you clean your brushes, you're going to get those shines that are already there, and that's just on the background. That you're looking at now as well. Matthew, we've only got about 30 seconds left before the end of the show. For those people that may be sitting watching at home, they're sitting there on the sofa at the moment thinking, I'm loving the idea, I'm there, I'm bought into it, but I can't paint. I've tried it, it wasn't for me. Yes, you get the drawings, and yes, I'm getting everything I need in there. I've got the DVD, but I don't think I'd be able to achieve what you're telling me I can. What would you say to those people at the moment?
Okay, so that's a natural fear, you know, but we're taking a lot of that fear away by giving you the sketch. I mean, that's a big thing, and the tuition, and all my DVDs, nothing's cut out of them, you know. So with that one-day special and a couple of extra little tools, a couple of simple little brushes, you can produce it, and it will give you such a buzz. It really does. And
I think that sums it all up. We all have this fear. I'm the same. I'm exactly the same as you. I've got the same fear that I wouldn't know where to start. But I think with the kit that you've got here, it's a good starting point. It's an amazing starting point that you'll be able to achieve when you get home as well. £38.82, 269746. Thank you, Matthew. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you to you as well. Right then, coming up next, it's with our Janice. Show me something, Janice. Sew me something, would you? Then Bizarrology myself, and then she's in the building. It's time to let her loose once again. Well, I never.
Would you like to improve your crafting techniques by watching and crafting along with your favourite Hochanda guest demonstrators, all from the comfort of your own home? If the answer is yes, then we are very excited to invite you to Craft Along, where you, our presenters and guests, will create an amazing array of projects throughout the year. So tune in, be inspired and create with Craft Along, your monthly crafting workshop.
Hi, my name is Blanche Siegmann. I'm the owner of the company La Blanche. The company La Blanche is a crafting company located in Germany. For over 20 years I'm designing and selling stamps, paper crafting products and home decoration. As a passionate crafter myself, I make sure All our products are of highest quality and easy to use. We produce a whole range of products. We produce paper products. We have also shrink sleeves for your jars, glasses. We have home decoration products, paints and wall decals. Everything, the whole range of crafting we produce for you. I hope you enjoy watching us at Hochanda and crafting with La Blanche.
Hochanda News. We are excited to announce that our broadcast hours on Freeview have been extended to 10 p.m. each day. We know that many of you were missing our live shows in the evening, and we can't wait to see you there.
Hi, I'm Hayley. Join me for some amazing Fabric Freedom shows. Fabric Freedom design all their fabrics here in the UK, and they design them with quilters in mind, so they're really good at picking out those unidirectional prints, really nice and small prints so you can work on smaller patchwork projects, and paste prints as well, which is one of their signature fabrics. They do lots more fabrics besides quilting cottons, so tune in to the Fabric Freedom shows here on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. Teamwork makes the dream work, and at Clarity we are designers and manufacturers of, dare I say, beautiful, top quality and award-winning craft products. We are home to the very first, the original transparent art stamp. We hand make them here in Kent, and our talented illustrators are always coming up with new original concepts and wonderful artwork. In addition, we design and manufacture top quality stencils and masks. In fact, we also make precision cut reusable masks for our stamps. Since January 2017, we are also the new owners of Pergamano International, bringing together a wonderful blend of old and new parchment art. We are so fortunate to be able to showcase our newest and best products here on Hochanda, and to be able to demonstrate our art ideas to you, our Hochanda friends. So if you would like to learn more about Clarity stamping, stencil work, parchment art, both groovy and traditional, please join us, myself and the Clarity team, here on Hochanda for ideas and inspiration.
A very good morning to you. I hope you are well. Now, are you like me? You want to buy new clothes, but you can't find any that suit you, that fit you, more importantly. I'm a bit of a peculiar size, believe it or not. Sometimes I'll buy items, they're too long, too short, too wide, too fitting, and it's just not right. So I end up sending them back, and then I'm wasting money, and then I don't end up buying anything. Well, we have got a fantastic show for you to enable you to make your own clothes. And we've got a brand new guest to us here at Hochanda. We've got the lovely Jules. Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's lovely to meet you.
Yes, and you.
Can't wait to do the show with you. And right from the top, let me say, if you do have any questions about any kind of dressmaking, please send them in. I like to say this, respectively, take advantage of our guests. It is studio@hochanda.com. Right, that out of the way, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about the company?
Yes, we've been going for 8 years now. We started with a very small kind of haberdashery store in Stratford-upon-Avon, which we were lucky enough to have a big studio above the shop, so we ran sewing and craft workshops there. And through running the workshops, we kind of decided that we needed to do something a little bit different with dressmaking patterns. And being a designer pattern cutter as my kind of background, I spent quite a long time in the fashion industry. We thought, right, okay, we'll have a little look and see how we can do things a bit better. So we came up with the patterns that we've got at the moment. We started off with 3 and now we've got over 20. I've lost count, actually.
Wow.
So we design and produce these ourselves. And we run most of them as workshops. Well, we did before lockdown.
Yes.
But we've kind of we're starting to put them all online as classes as well.
Excellent. So adapting with the times. I
Exactly.
love that. Like adapting the clothing to yourself. And that's exactly what you can do with the patterns, of course, because you can make a combination of sizes. Let's start off with the Regan pattern. And there's something quite interesting about all these names. We're not going to tell you at the top of the hour. Let's see if you can figure this out throughout the show. There is a pattern to the names of the patterns. Let's see if you can work this out. So we'll start with the Regan top. That's the one that's just behind me now. Is this something that's going to be easy for a beginner to pick up and put together?
It is, actually. It's a brilliant one to start with. We designed it to be made up in a knit fabric, but it doesn't have to be made in knits. You can make it in woven fabrics. The only thing that you want to bear in mind is that you're going to need something stretchy to go around the neckband and the cuffs and the waist, because it is kind of like a sweatshirt sort of shape. But you can see the one hanging up is in a knit fabric, and the one on the counter is actually made in woven. That's made it out of a viscose rayon, so it's quite a nice drapey sort of feel to it.
Yeah, I like
which is really
this.
lovely.
That's really nice, actually, because as you know at home, I do like a sweatshirt. It's what I feel comfortable in. But sometimes the design of the sweatshirt is so nice, I just want to keep wearing it. So to use it with a different fabric makes it more dressy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice, actually.
Like that, very nice. And I like the cuffs as well, because it makes it smart, because you've got that drapeability, but then you've got the fitted design as well, which is lovely. That is gorgeous. Now, size-wise, let's talk about sizes, because, of course, that's important to everyone at home. What's the size chart on these?
We go from a UK size 8 up to, I think that one's a 20, I can't, either a 22 or a 26.
22, yes.
22.
Yeah.
We've actually extended our range for the more recent patterns, and we're going to be going and doing that over the back catalogue as well.
Oh, fantastic.
But they're high street sizing, so if you've tried dressmaking before and you've kind of come unstuck a little bit with the sizing because they're all quite small, then these relate to kind of high street sizes. But we always include the body measurements and the finished garment measurements on the pattern information as well.
Oh, that's
so it makes
good.
it much easier to work out what kind of size you want to make.
Which I think is perfect, because we are all different sizes, and sometimes, you know, like I've done before, I'll buy a certain size from a shop and it just doesn't fit. And we want that fit, don't we?
Exactly.
We want to, you know, whatever our size, it's nice to have something that fits us, something that's not too big or too small. Right, now, inside the pattern, let me show you what you're getting. So you've got your booklet here that gives you information, very easy to follow instructions as well. Perfect. And more importantly, you've got the pattern there as well, which is great. Now, I'm going to ask the question, because I do need to ask it on behalf of everyone at home. If I'm making this, can I sell it, or is it for personal use?
No, it's only for personal use.
Perfect. Always good to know. Always good to know. But we could make one for a family member or friend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. Right. That is your Regan. It's £17.99. Remember, you can make as many of those as you like. And that is a beginner's project. And the great thing is, when you find something that you like, you can now make it in various different colours and various different fabrics. We've got some fabrics for you on the show as well. 722311 is your item number, and that's going to be ideal for beginners. Next up, and remember, these names mean something. There's a pattern to the patterned names. Let's see if you can figure it out. The next one is Beatrice. Let's talk about this. We have this on one of our mannequins just to the side. I think this is very practical to wear, isn't it?
It is, yes. It will kind of stand up on its own as a pinafore, because it crosses all the way over at the back. So you don't kind of like get any sort of hospital gown effect where you're a bit exposed at the back. It goes all the way over and just kind of sits, which is really nice.
Can I turn it around just so we can see that at home, if that's okay? So let's just turn that around, because I love the back of this, and I love the drape that you've got as well. So it makes like the practicability, quite fashionable now. So you don't just have to wear this as a practical item, it's a fashionable item.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you can be stylish and practical at the same time.
Do you know what? I love the stitching that's gone around there. So what a lovely detail.
I know, it's brilliant actually, because you've got all of these decorative stitches on your machines that you sometimes don't really know what to do with. But actually this is a really good way of utilising some of the stitches on your machine.
Yes, yeah, it makes it interesting, doesn't it? Isn't that lovely? Little star stitch going all the way around there. With a different colour cotton to the fabric. Let's just turn that to the side. Oh, steady on. It's a bit early for that. Let's just... Sorry, it's like a comedy show. Sorry. Let's pop that back up there. A family show, not a comedy show. With the pockets as well. I can see Leonie wearing something like that, and our Catherine. Really like that.
We get a lot of crafters, a lot of spinners, felt makers, TAs working in schools. Actually found them really useful as well.
Yes, yeah.
It just covers everything up. I've got a fabulous one that's really old that I've had for donkey's years that I used to clean my chickens out with. And because it's got nice big pockets, I can put the eggs in.
Perfect,
which is lovely.
As well as the practicability, I'm just seeing this with a little shirt underneath as well, a little white shirt.
Yeah.
So then you've got that fashion element with a little sort of like over body bag, something like that. Right, £17.99, 158454 is your item number. Right, next up we've got the Peas Blossom. Peas Blossom. So go with these names. Let's see if anybody can get the connection. Now, your Peas Blossom, is this one of your favourites?
It's lovely, actually. And again, this is a brilliant one for beginners, because if you're just new to sewing, it's got no darts, no buttons, zips or anything like that. It's just a really square, boxy kind of shape. So it's great for layering up over other things too.
Now, we've got a couple of styles to this. Is this the one with the cowl and without the cowl?
Yes. You've got 3 different necklines included. So you've got the cowl version, which is brilliant for jersey or kind of silky, drapey sorts of fabric. And then we've got the light blue one hanging up there, which is in a linen, and that's just got a round neck. And we've also got a V-neck version included in the pattern as well.
How lovely. Something like that you can really dress up with a necklace. Yeah. You know, similar to your necklace that you've got on yourself, something quite bold, colourful, but then you could just leave it as something just quite, not plain, I don't think that's the right word, but just...
It's simple.
Simple is a better word, yes. Again, is this going to be easy for us to make?
It is very easy, yeah.
Yeah, I do
you've
like
literally
that.
got shoulder seams, side seams, and then it's finishing off the neck.
Yeah.
You can do that in lots of different ways, actually, because we kind of designed it with knit fabrics in mind again. So you've got a neckband that you can use. You can use a binding, or you can even draft a facing, actually.
Oh, really?
So there's loads of different... It's a really hackable kind of pattern, actually.
Is it difficult to do a cowl neck? 'Cause I love a cowl neck.
Very, very easy. It's actually, if you're working in a jersey fabric, you don't even have to finish the cowl, because it's got a self-facing that kind of tucks down inside.
Yeah. Did I say cowl neck? It's a cowl neck, isn't it? Cowl. Well, it depends if I'm wearing it or not.
It could be a bit of a cowl if you're having a problem making it, actually, yeah.
You know. Oh, wow, nearly 20% of that pattern has gone. I love it because, really, it's the pattern for your cowl neck, your pattern for your round neck, and also a pattern for the V-neck. So you've got 3 tops in one there.
Absolutely, yeah.
3 tops
it's a
in
really
one.
good value one.
And it's a great price at £17.99. All recyclable packaging as well, by the way, which is lovely. Now, the next one along is this Bianca. Is this the Coatigan?
Yes. Yeah.
I love this. When Lottie, producer, and myself came in the studio, we were just like, oh, yes, that's nice, very nice. Can you tell us a little bit about this design?
I love this. This is one of my favourites.
Is it?
I absolutely love it. I've got about 4 or 5 of these. We designed it to be made primarily with boiled wool, but it will make up with anything that's got a little bit of weight to it that you don't mind seeing the reverse of, because it's unlined, and it just literally flops back and reveals the kind of waterfall neckline on the collar. But it's just so comfortable. It's just a little bit more than a cardigan.
Yes.
But it's not as involved as a coat.
Do you know, I'm looking at that, I'm thinking blanket material. You know, if you've got some old blankets,
absolutely,
or you can pick them up, just by the, is it overlocked on the edging?
Yeah.
Yes, something quite colourful in the winter, made of blanket fabric, will keep you nice and warm. And maybe a little brooch there just to connect it, which makes it look different instantly. Or I'm thinking a belt, a big thick belt, just around that to bring it all in, which would look fabulous, would it not?
It's lovely. We run it as a 4-hour workshop.
Right, so is it difficult to make?
No, very, very easy. We run it all up on an overlocker.
4 hours?
4 hours.
From start to end?
Yes, you walk out wearing a coat.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I know. But you don't have to have an overlocker to make it. You can just make it raw-edged. If you're using something like a boiled wool, it won't fray. So you can use it just raw-edged or even pink the edges, actually. That looks quite effective sometimes.
So how about a blanket stitch?
You can, yeah.
That would look
We've
nice.
had lots of people have done all kinds of... we've had somebody use it in a dark grey with a beautiful Liberty binding all the way around the edge, which looked stunning.
That
really
would be
did.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I would go for a grey, like a charcoal grey colour, in a nice blankety style fabric, because that would be. It's just something that when you put it, when you wear it and you put it around you, it's that wrappability.
It's
you
like
know when you
wearing a
just
hug.
yeah,
It
it
really is,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely love that, and I love the turn up of the sleeves. I think that's fabulous. I think that's fabulous. £17.99. Your sizes from extra small to large. We're very busy for that, nearly 20% of the stock. I'm also seeing a nice little brooch just on the corner there, maybe at Christmas time, going to your church service or to the carol service. It's something that's adaptable, isn't it? And how about, actually, as well as making it with a blanket material, just make it in like a linen. So it's something for the summer.
Yeah, it could be more, almost like a duster coat kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, these are fantastic. These are fantastic. Right, nearly 20% of the stock has gone. Remember, we do have some fabrics for you on the show as well. Right, we've got another pattern for you. This is your Celia. It's the final one. Remember, there is a connection between all of these. Let's see if you can guess what it is. This is Celia, and we have Celia just the end of the counter. And this is the one with the really nice, elegant sleeves with it, just down there. That looks really nice in a checked fabric as well.
Yes, I'm actually wearing Celia today.
I thought so. I was just taking a little sneaky peek, and I thought, you've got one on there. It looks lovely. I like it. I like the double denim look.
Oh, I live in jeans.
Do you?
I
Well,
really
so
do.
do I.
I know. Yeah.
They are fabulous, aren't they? And what a great fabric to use. And a great fabric to have in this top like you're wearing here now.
But it looks equally as nice without the frills, which is what we've got, the heather linen.
Oh, yes, the one just here. I'll just point to that one. That's this one right here. So with the frills, can't speak this morning, or without. I like the detail in this. I like the sleeves. What's nice about that, they're not too high capped, are they?
No, no. They kind of just sit above your elbow, so it's quite a nice length, actually.
Yeah, I do like that. Sometimes it's hard to, especially in the summer months, it's hard to find a top that just covers that top part of your arms. Some of them are too capped and it's too much arm and it doesn't look right. But something like this, it's still cool with the fabric that you've got. You've still got those lovely open sleeves, but then with the frills. And I'm thinking, again, Catherine, everybody, she would look great in that, definitely, with the frills. So it's that adaptability, isn't it, with the patterns that you've got here. £17.99. The sizes, again, from 8 to 22. Great price. Everything that you need is right there inside for you. 693077. Remember, any questions, please do email them in. It's studio@hochanda.com. And if you can find the connection between all of the names, I'll be very impressed indeed. We've had 2 emails so far that are correct. Really? Well, you guys are far more intelligent than me then. I knew there was something about the names because I went through to Lottie and I was like, what's this name? And then we figured it out. But let's see if you can figure it out. We'll keep it running throughout the show. I will let you know. So well done, Linda. Well done, Sally. You know what the connection is. Well done. Right, let's have a look at the website. We've got some fabrics for you. Some beautiful fabrics, actually. Some lovely patterned fabrics. We've got some lovely ink denim fabric as well, which will be lovely for your pinafore. It would be lovely for the coatigan if you go for the sky stripe fabric. But your choice, you know, it's all about you, what you want. You can make any of these garments out of any of those fabrics. Oh, look at that mustard turquoise fabric. Oh, that is gorgeous. That would be lovely for the Regan. I've got it here in the studio, I'm just having a look at it. Or I think maybe even for the Coatigan, actually, for a summer. Oh, very nice, very nice. Sorry, I was just stroking some fabric, as you do. Right, Jules, what we're going to have a look at first?
I'm just going to run you through a couple of techniques for the Regan sweatshirt. So we're going to use the overlocker for this. Again, you don't have to have an overlocker.
Yeah.
But it does make life so much easier if you have, because it automatically kind of deals with all the stretch.
Yes.
So what I've done is I've kind of part-made one. It's very easy to put together because there are no darts in this. All I've done is literally sew the shoulder seams, and then I've just put the sleeves in. Now, I've sewn up one sleeve completely, and you can see that we've actually put the cuff on there as well. But this one, all I've done is I've stitched it in flat. So it literally goes in flat, a bit like a shirt sleeve, really.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to do.
Okay.
And then what we want to do then is to sew up from the hem to the cuff, all in one go. So we're just going to overlock that.
Perfect.
And I'm not going to pin it either.
Oh, you are daring.
I know, I know.
You little maverick.
Live dangerously, eh? This is the one thing, actually, that you want to be aware of, is that pins and overlockers don't really go together.
Okay.
You can use clips. I know people like to use the, are they Wonder Clips or something they're called?
Yes, I don't know what they're called. I think they're called different names, but yes, you've got the clips.
Patchworkers use them, I think, don't they?
Yes.
They would work. But actually, if you kind of use your fingers as pins, to be honest. If you're matching up all of your key points, so you're matching up your hem, your sleeve seam and your wrist, then it shouldn't go too far wrong. Now, the other thing that you need to remember with using an overlocker is to pulse the pedal, which is a really good tip. Now, I need to put my second pair of glasses on here, sorry. So I can actually see what I'm doing.
I did wonder this morning in the meeting, but I just didn't like to say.
No,
I thought you'd left them on there by mistake.
No, I'm too cheapskate to go for varifocals, so it's just much easier to stick an extra pair on.
That's fine,
so
that's fine.
I can actually see what I'm doing now. So, best thing to do with an overlocker, always make sure your blade is up, and that way you can tuck your fabric just underneath it so that it gets you started. And then pulse your pedal until you're kind of a bit more committed to what you're doing. There we go. Now, the seam allowances are all in the pattern information for you as well.
Oh, look how easy that is.
There we go. So all I'm doing is just making sure that I'm keeping all of those tails out from the overlocking that we've done around the sleeve. And just pulsing it over where all of the double layers are for the seams. And that way you've got a bit more control over the machine. And then all I'm doing is making sure that the raw edges are lined up just before they go under the foot.
Are overlockers expensive to buy?
Sorry?
Are overlockers expensive to buy, Jules?
You kind of get what you pay for,
Okay.
really. You can get one that's like, I don't know, a couple of £100, or you can get the fantastic air thread ones, which are amazing, and they're like about 800 or 900. But they all work in exactly the same way. People do get really scared about threading up overlockers, but actually they're not that bad.
Yeah, we do have one on the website. The reason why I'm asking is because that just looks so easy, doesn't it? So if you are in the market for an overlocker and you're watching this demonstration thinking, yeah, I can do with one, we do have one available for you. It is a considerable purchase, but it's dividable over 3 months. And this is an air thredder. Ooh. This is an air thredder.
Very nice, very nice. If you're in doubt about overlock, I would go for one. They will take your dressmaking
to the next level.
To that next level, they really will, actually. We run a Love Your Overlocker workshop, which we've actually put online as part of our sewing subscription club. Yeah. And it's the most popular workshop we do.
Wow,
it's amazing. Really? We do a when we're back open again for workshops.
Yes.
It's a 3-hour one, and you come in and you just play around with the settings and you learn how to thread it, and it's brilliant. It's a really good one to do.
Fantastic,
actually.
Fantastic.
There we go. So I've stitched that sleeve all in one, which makes it really nice and quick and easy to do. And now what we want to do is to join the cuff. Now, because it's a cuff, so it kind of finishes everything off.
Yes.
And what we want to do is to join the short sides, and then we're going to turn it through on itself and make it into a circle. So all I'm going to do is just whiz through that part. Again, make sure your blade is up and you can tuck your fabric underneath. There we are. So that's that very quickly done. Now, you want to make sure that your cuff is narrower than your sleeve opening, because you want to be able to stretch the cuff to actually fit around your wrist.
Got you.
So it's tighter around your wrist, and then the kind of fabric will kind of go into the cuff kind of thing.
Can you adjust the size of the cuff as well? Because some of us like to have cuffs that are quite tight to the wrist and some quite loose, you know, if you're wearing a watch or some jewellery or something like that.
Absolutely. This is the beauty of making your own clothes, is that you can get it to fit however you want, which is so fabulous. So what I'm going to do now is fold that back on itself, so we've got a double layer that's finished.
We've had an email from Adele, Jules, and she says she loves your patterns.
Oh, lovely.
They're
Thank
very,
you.
very easy to make and create, a joy to wear. And I believe the next pattern that Adele is going for is the Bianca.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's a lovely one,
The
actually.
coatigan, yeah, that is gorgeous. In fact, it takes me back to the 1980s. I had a coat similar to that in the 1980s. I love it.
It's like that big kind of duster coat kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. Right, so we've got that round the right way. Now, this kind of technique, the same way that we're doing this, applies to the neck and the waistband as well. So all I'm going to do is slide the cuff into the sleeve and match up the seams.
I love your ring, by the way, Jules.
Thank you.
I noticed that. And then when you said that you kept chickens, I thought, oh, is that a yolk in there?
I know. It's actually, I love it. It's one of my favourite things.
Is it? It looks great.
It's blown glass and it's got liquid inside it.
Wow.
So it does, yeah. It's a little bit of a conversation starter.
Yes, just in case anyone was wondering at home, thinking, are they seeing things? Well, yes, you are. The ring has liquid in it.
There we go. I'm going to be good and trim all my ends off, because it does make life so much easier. Now, again, I'm not going to pin because we've got a very small space to kind of work in here. All I'm going to do, again, is just use my fingers as pins to line those up, because what we want to do is to actually stretch the cuff to fit the opening for the wrist. So it will stretch. This is why you need stretchy fabric for this bit.
We have both of those fabrics on the show for you. I'm just with them now. Absolutely gorgeous, stunning. If you do want to get hold of the beige, you've got 2.5 metres. Wow. £24.99, 259217. And then you've got the mustard turquoise, which is an absolute delight. 2.5 metres of that. So lovely as cuffs, Jules, but also I think if you're making the main part of some of the items we've got on the show, it would look amazing too.
Oh yeah, it would look fantastic actually. And you've got plenty there. You could make a whole garment and use some of it to edge one of the other patterns as well.
Yeah, you could. There's plenty there. £27.99. It's 100% polyester. May we just show everyone at home, Jules, just how large this is, because as Jules is using it, I know you're getting interested in it. So I'm going to pop one end over there. Let me just get the right end, and then our Matt will come and help, because this is going to be quite a width away. Look at that. And we're both holding this, but we're both, of course, social distance in a way, because it's 2 metres. Love that. You've got that little bit of stretch in there as well. Absolutely gorgeous. £27.99. I'm not seeing anything like it, really. Is it a knitted fabric, Jules?
It is knitted, yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, sorry, I just wanted to let people know at home, because what you're doing looks fabulous, and if anybody wants to replicate that, now they can.
That's cool. So what I'm going to do now is line those seams up. But when we start sewing, I'm going to start sewing just before the seam, so that we're not starting right on the seam where we've got that kind of lumpy bit of fabric. So when I put that underneath the foot of the overlocker, now overlockers are brilliant because you don't have to lift the foot up at the back. You can just lift the toe up at the front, which is quite handy. And because I'm sewing in the round, I'm going to kind of diagonally kind of run onto the fabric and then straighten it up afterwards, so that it means we can get a nice stitch all the way round. There we go. Now again, I'm just going to pulse it. There we go. So it makes it easier to deal with the thicknesses of the fabric that you've got underneath the foot. And then I'm just going to stretch the cuff out to match up with the sleeve. And I'm just trimming off a teeny bit as I go, but not too much because we've got quite a few layers of fabric here. There we go. So all I'm doing is just stretching and easing it round at the same time, so that it should all meet up when we get back to the beginning. So again, when I come back to the beginning, I can see where I've kind of angled in very slightly, and I can just straighten that off when we come round to where we started.
Is this how you would do all cuffs?
It's a really good technique,
Yeah.
actually. It's ever so easy to do.
And the collars as well, and the round necks, would
Yep.
you do them like that, yeah?
Yeah. There we go. So with a larger kind of expanse, like a neckline or a hem,
Yes.
you might want to add a few pins or clips
Yeah,
or something like
to
that to
draw it
hold it
in,
in place,
yeah.
because you're trying to even out the stretch, because your neckband is going to be slightly smaller as well.
Yes.
So you quarter it and then kind of ease it all together. There we go. So that's your cuff stitched inside, and then when we turn it through, we should hopefully have two nice sleeves. There we go. Make sure we get it round the right way. There we go. So we've got the two cuffs.
Oh, they look
there.
great.
So it was a very easy process. But you can see, because we've got the cuff that's smaller,
Yes.
it kind of gathers in the sleeve a little bit.
Love that. Right, now, if you do want to get any, excuse me, of the fabrics available, we do have quite a few. And then you can pop these into your basket. You can always watch this show again on rewind, so you can follow the steps with Jules if you go with the fabric that we've got today, or maybe your own fabric. It's entirely up to you, but we've got some great deals. Now, oh, are we going to start with the black and white over this side? Yeah, of course. Let's go for the black and white, like this, because they're not dots, they're like splodges. I like that. I like that. And this is like, if I can get hold of this, yeah, it's like more like a drapey jersey style, and that's because of the spandex in there and your viscose. It's 2 meters by 150 centimeters, so I think this will be perfect for your peas blossom. Absolutely perfect, and it's enough fabric to create and make any size. It's 2 meters by 150 centimeters wide, £22.98. Love that. Right, your navy floral. This again for your peas bottom would look fantastic. This is, sorry, the peas bottom. What am I on about?
People do that all the time.
Do they? It's
Yeah.
not just me then,
No,
Jules. Thank you.
Peas bottom, that's what it gets called at, yeah.
I'm thinking of that nursery rhyme, please.
Peas pottage.
Yes, peas yeah, which
Yeah,
is totally
we've had
different
that
from
one
peas
too,
bottom,
yeah.
but you know how it gets in your head. Oh my goodness. Right, I'll start again. Peas blossom. This fabric will be perfect for that, if you want to go for that, which is lovely. So you've got that stretchability in there. £22.98, 941299 is your item number. Nice navy floral. And then, oh, you've got some denim. So if you want to go for the Beatrice, which is the pinafore, in fact, any of the designs would look great. It's all to do with your choice, isn't it? You're the designer. This is 2 meters by 150 centimeters wide, 97% cotton and 3% elastin. So you've got that little bit of stretch in there, which helps. £22.98, 175949. Oh, have you seen this sky fabric? Let's just take that away. You get 3 meters by 145 centimeters. That's a lot. Would that be enough to make the coatigan? I think it would.
You need, yeah, at least 2.5.
So this would be perfect. It's a lovely fabric. 2 payments of £22.50, 35% wool and 65% polyester, so washable with the polyester being in there. It's a beautiful feel to it, and I think that would look amazing in that coatigan.
It's a gorgeous colour, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. If you want to get hold of that, $44.99, but 2 payments, spreadable over 2 months, 829718. And then you might want to combine it with this pink floral. We've got some pinks and purples and greens and creams. This would be great for the Celia top with the sleeve, but again, maybe even for the well, for any, I think any of the garments, maybe the Regan jumper on here, but I think anything, 'cause it's such a beautiful, bright floral.
It's lovely. It would work out brilliantly in the peas blossom, actually, a woven version of peas.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
That would be, yes, stunning, especially for the summer months as well.
Yeah.
$22.99, 100% cotton. So bearing that in mind, Jules, if we were to make one of the items, maybe the peas bottom from this blossom, I said it again, what is wrong with me? Forgive me.
We'll let you off, don't worry.
Thank you, thank you. As long as you do, we're all right. Because it's 100% cotton, would we need to alter the size because we'd get a bit of shrinkage?
Possibly. Now, it depends on what you want to do. The best thing to do is to actually measure the finished garment measurement across the bust, because it's straight the way down. You want to make sure that that's going to fit you around the hips. So as long as that fits you around the hips, then it's not going to be tight and kind of bunch up.
Interesting.
So as long as you get that measurement right. So you might want to knock it up a size.
Yes.
But the nice thing is, because it's a multi-size pattern, you can blend between sizes.
Ooh.
So if you want to have, say, a 14 neck, but you want it slightly wider, maybe a 16 or an 18 on the hip, you can kind of blend that. So you'd cut the top section for a 14, but then you just kind of make it slightly trapeze shape rather than parallel, which is really easy to do.
Yeah, and that would be perfect, because we're not all the same size, are we? Love that. So $22.99, 900, 567. We've got the sky striped fabric, which is great for the pinafore, like that. You can use this for any of your projects, by the way. £38.99, 809 788 is your item number. 54% linen and 46% cotton, so you still might have that shrinkability on this. So
yeah, I would. It depends, really. A lot of the time, fashion fabrics should be pre-shrunk, but I think it's always probably a good idea to wash it first.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it could be pre-shrunk. Yeah, I didn't think about that, you see.
Most of the time, craft cotton fabrics probably will shrink a little bit because they're made for quilting. So if you're going to do dressmaking with them, I would always pre-wash those.
Yes.
But a lot of the fashion fabrics will probably be treated anyway. So
pre-shrink, yeah, because they've been dyed, haven't they? Yeah, of course. So they've got to be washed to be dyed. Good point. We've got the blue floral fabric, great for the Celia. But again, for anything that you've got in mind, beautiful fabric, 148 centimetres wide, 100% cotton again, £22.99. And then that leads us to the beige that Jules was using for the Regan top. If you want to go for this, it's £24.99, 259 217, brand new today. And finally, my favourite is the mustard turquoise. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, whether you're making cushion covers or whether you're making garments to cover yourself. £27.99, 538 359 is your item number. Now, the best sellers is the coatigan on the show. Doesn't surprise me. 40% of the stock has gone. It's marvellous. There you go. There's your coatigan. It is the Bianca. Remember, there is a connection between all of the names. We'll tell you at the end of the hour. But if you can figure it out, and quite a few of you have been, then please let us know. 722489. I'm going to get this right. The peas blossom. There you go. It's in front of me. I can get that. £17.99. That's busy as well. 1/3 of the stock of that has gone. And we're busy for the Beatrix as well. If you want to go for that, we're busy for that. 1/3 of the stock has gone. £17.99. 158454. Right, let's head back to Jules. What are we going to have a look at now?
I'm going to talk you through the pocket.
Oh, okay.
For the Beatrice pinafore, which is quite a nice one to do. What we've done is we've finished the top edge of the pocket with a binding, and the same technique you can then apply to finish off the whole of the rest of the edge of the binding. Now the instructions give you 2 other versions of finishing as well.
Okay.
So the binding is the kind of most complicated one, if you like, even though it isn't. And if you're a quilter, you'll find it a doddle anyway. But you can also hem it, or there is a version of lining it. So you could put a contrasting printed fabric inside or something like that.
That would be lovely.
Which would look really nice.
Could you make it reversible?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So you can have pockets on the outside and pockets on the inside as well.
That would be perfect. Yeah, perfect.
So this is a nice one to do. So what we've got is a little inverted box pleat here. Now there are notches on the top edge of the pocket that you can see. So we're going to just pin those together. Again, I need my other glasses. So we've got 3 notches. So the 2 outside ones are going to be brought into the centre. And all I'm going to do is pin that in place, because we're doing this on a sewing machine, so that's okay. So we're just lining those up. So they should meet nice and centrally. Now, if you want to, you can baste those together first, but because we're doing tele-sewing, we're doing a bit quicker. So what we want to do is actually top stitch the binding from the right side, which makes it much easier to finish, so there's no hand sewing involved. So what we're going to do is take the right side of the binding and put the pocket straight on top. So we've got the right side of the binding to the wrong side of the pocket. And now I've cut the binding piece, it's just a strip. It's about 4.5 centimetres wide, which I think is just over 2 inches. And I just made it a bit longer than the pocket itself, so that we can trim it off afterwards. And again, all I'm going to do is stick that under the machine, and I'm going to run the edge of the foot along the edge of the fabric, and that will give us just enough so that we can then turn the binding over. So I'm going to start and do a little reverse just to lock everything in. And I'm just going to take it now. I don't know about you, but I kind of like to take my pins out as I sew. So I'm just going to take those out before we get to them. Otherwise, you do run the risk of snapping a needle, which is not a good look, really. There we go. And again, just finish with a reverse. There we go. So we've attached the binding and we've held that pleat in place. So what we want to do now I'm just going to finger press this just for ease. I will get the iron out in a sec. So I'm just going to push the binding up away from the pocket, and then we can fold it over and tuck it under. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could use ready-made buyer's binding.
Oh, okay.
So that would work just as well. And I'm going to pin horizontally because I want the pin to hold more of the binding in place. There we go. So I'm just literally rolling that under. So we should be left with about 1 centimetre wide of binding. There we go. And again, if you prefer, you could use your clips here. Just tucking that under. And then we can top stitch this in place. And it keeps it nice and neat, and we don't have to worry about any hand sewing because that takes ages.
Yeah. I like the detail on the top of the pocket with the stitching.
Yes. Yeah. That's another thing that you can do. We just used a white star stitch on here.
Yeah.
Just to show you what you can do. You can do whatever you like, actually.
I mean, with some fabrics, you could even use your stamps and your fabric inks, so you could actually build and create your own pattern.
That would be lovely.
Even if it's just on the pockets. Yeah. Something a little bit different.
We have had people do block printing and stuff like that on fabric
Oh,
first,
yeah, that would be...
which
that
looks
would be,
amazing.
Yeah.
It really does. So I just realised I put my pins around the wrong way, so I'm just turning them around now, so it makes it easier to be able to take the pins out as you go. So now I can just line that up and make sure that that's sitting. So we're just going to edge stitch the binding in place. And I'm going to increase my stitch length because it's a top stitch. There we go. Again, we can take pins out as we go. So what we're trying to do is just to cover up that first row of sewing that we did to attach the binding. There we are.
There's something really comforting about a sewing machine and an overlocking machine.
I know.
It's just that nice gentle noise,
Yeah.
like water lapping against
Yes.
the boat.
I feel a little bit like that about the washing machine.
Do you?
Yeah. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Whenever the washing machine's on, it's like all's right with the world.
Yeah, it's like,
Do you know
it's just
what I
like
mean?
that.
It's like home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because my mum stuck me in front of the washing machine when I was a baby or something, I don't know. But I used to do that with my kids, actually.
Stick them in front of the washing machine.
Used to keep them entertained for hours.
Well,
actually.
yeah, it is, yeah.
There we go. So we've just finished off the binding there, and we've got the pleat in the centre. So that's a nice way of neatening everything off there. And what I can do now, if you wanted to do a top stitch or anything, I'd do that first.
Yes.
Before you trim off the edges.
Yeah.
That just keeps it nice and neat.
Yeah.
And then what we want to do is to create that circular shape and get that tucked underneath there. And we can do that by doing an easing stitch first.
Okay.
So-
I like the detail on the pocket as well with that little pleat. Just makes it different, doesn't it?
I
Adds that
know.
extra detail that makes it different.
The devil is always in the detail.
Yeah, it
isn't
certainly is.
So what I'm going to do with this is run a long stitch. So I'm not going to back tack or anything like that. So we've got the ends free, and then just run literally about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 centimetre away from the edge, and that will help me just slip it all up a bit.
So you've not overlocked that?
No, we're going to leave it inside. What we're going to do is turn it under.
Ah.
So I need to have tails there. So what we've got, I've got a little end. There we go. So I can pull up. What we want to do is to be able to turn that over. But because, again, if you think about concentric circles,
Yeah.
the outside line is smaller than the inside line.
Yes.
So what we need to do is to kind of ease up the outside edge so that it sits nice and flat inside.
Okay.
So it's a little bit like a shower cap.
That makes sense now.
Yeah. So if you can picture a shower cap,
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're doing. So all I'm going to do is just very gently pull up that bobbin thread, and it just kind of brings in that edge so that it sits and creates a nice curve. We can do the same on the other side. If you pull up too much, that's fine. You can just ease it out again afterwards. There we go.
It's a great technique. Well, I've seen this
This is
before.
lovely, actually. It's a brilliant technique. Now, the other way that you can get a really nice curve shape is to create a jig, which is like a cardboard template of the finished shape of your pocket.
Oh, right.
And you can tuck that inside. If you're doing smaller pockets or flat
Yeah.
pockets, it's a little bit easier. And that will just give you that curved edge then that you can press around.
Bit like, would that be like a little bit like paper piecing?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same kind
Yes.
of principle, yeah. But if you've got card, like, I don't know, out of a cornflake packet or
Yes,
something like
yeah.
that.
Other breakfasts are available.
Exactly. Then it just, you've got that edge, that solid edge to be able to press your fabric over, which is quite nice. So you can see what's happening here. It's just kind of bringing it in. And then if I grab the ironing board, there we are, we can actually press it in place. So it makes it much easier. So we can start with those side bits because they're a little bit straighter, and the seam allowance is 1.5 centimetres or 5/8 in old money, and we can pop that over there. So I'm just literally starting off that straight bit and pressing that flat first, and then we can kind of push it in and roll it back so that we've got it the right. Now if I see that needs a little bit more pulling up there, so we can just ease it up a little bit more. And it just brings that outer edge in so that you're going to get a nice smooth curve around the edge of your pocket. So I'm kind of using the iron as a precision tool. There we go.
If you were putting the decorative stitch on the top of the pocket,
yeah,
would you do that before you do all of this?
Yes, definitely.
Because we're starting to bring the pocket in now, aren't we?
Yeah, I would do it straight after you've stitched the binding.
Yes.
And then go and do your decorative stitch afterwards.
First, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. So it's starting to get that nice kind of curved edge to it. But it's a brilliant way of utilising. I love all the decorative stitches, but you kind of think to yourself, when are you going to use them? Or the machines?
And this is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And I guess you could apply the decorative stitch to all of the patterns that you've got, whether it be going around cuffs, whether it be going around the waist pattern or the waist part of your designs.
Yep, absolutely. We've got we do a skirt pattern which is reversible, and that's a nice one to do because it's got a curved waistband. So you can utilise the stitch. You could even do it. The Celia top has a facing that's stitched all the way around the neckline. So you could even do a decorative stitch actually to hold your facing in place.
Yes.
So around here, it's just got a row of sewing.
And that's the one that you're wearing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab that.
Yeah.
If the model is sturdy enough. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. You don't want an unstable model. Hang on. It's all right. It's okay, everyone.
Oh, there she is. She's
There
a
you
bit
go.
wobbly.
She's a bit wobbly. It's the first time on TV. But there you go. There you go. So yes, that would be perfect.
So actually that would look quite nice stitched around that. And then you could do it around the hem or
Yeah.
above the sleeves or somewhere like that, just to kind
be
of...
nice just at the top of the cuffs there.
Yeah.
And then matching around the waist. Just be a bit adventurous. You've got the pattern, so you can do so. And it means that you've got the same top that fits you, you love it.
Exactly.
But it just looks different. Just looks different.
Yeah. There we go. So I've pressed that pocket in place. And if I flip it over, there we go, you can see what we've done. We've kind of pulled up that sort of inside edge, and then it gives a nice proper curved edge to the pocket. So it's going to sit nice and flat on your
perfect.
Beatrice there. So then all we can do is just line it up on the stitching line and make sure that's in the right place, and then pin and stitch that and top stitch that in place.
That's perfect. You see, I would look at that and think, oh, I need to go and put lots of arrows in there to pleat it all in. But that technique to produce that perfect shape,
it makes it nice and easy, actually.
And
it's
all
a
of
nice
that
one
is in
to
the
do.
instructions, Jules.
Absolutely. It takes you through everything step by step.
Yes. Yeah.
We've tried to write them in proper English.
Yes.
So it makes it a lot
So even
easier
I'll
to
understand. Yeah, they are really, really easy to follow. You've got diagrams in here as well. So, you know, we all learn differently, and sometimes we like to look at the text, but it's also really handy to look at the diagrams that are in there. So they're included. You've got top tips in there as well. So you've got all the information, how to finish, how to do your hemmed edge. Very simple, very, very easy, and you've got the instructions there. Of course, that's the instructions, but your pattern is also included as well. I won't open that all out, but it all comes in that recycle package as well. Right, let's have a recap of all the items we've got on the show for you, because we're busy for certain items and I don't want you to miss out. Right, let's start with the Regan. Now this is fabulous because this could be for a nice relaxed day out, or maybe a chilled out day at home. It could be that comfort clothing, or it could be something that you feel comfortable in, but you could make it smart, can't you, Jules? I love that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you've got the cuffs, and you've got the collar, and you've got the waistband as well. And you can make those different, or you can make them the same. It's entirely up to you. It's brand new today. 722 311 if you want to go for the Regan. Great for beginners. Sizes 8 to 22, £17.99. Right, next we've got the Beatrice. Now again, another new one today. You can see it there on the mannequin. I love this. If I may, I'm just going to step in because I want to show you the back, because I think that is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Very cool, and it will be very cool because you could just wear a little vest underneath that in the hot summer months, and I'm sure, or hot summer weeks, I'm sure we've got still to come. Nearly half of the stock has gone of that, and that was the demonstration with the pockets that we were just seeing. That's 158454. Next, I'm going to get this right. Peas blossom. There you go. Your peas blossom is next. Now again, nearly half the stock is gone. You'll see with that diagram you can make the cowl neck, you can make the V-neck, and then you've got the round neck as well. And you've got 3 of the designs up here. I was just looking. Could you, if you wanted to, make a little bit of a square neck?
Oh, this is the nice thing, actually.
Yes.
You can change the neck, absolutely, and then trace off that shape and make a facing to finish it off. Yeah,
I think that would be lovely. I'm just looking at this linen style cotton in like just a square shape going around there. I think that would look lovely as well. And again, you've got the different sizes, so it's going to fit you, and you're going to make it bespoke for you. £17.99, 720706 is your item number. Then we've got, have we got the, yes, the Cotigan, the Bianca. This has been the busiest item on the show. Nearly 60% of the stock has gone. I absolutely adore it. My producer adores it, and I know you adore it as well. It's the type of coat that you can wear. It can, well, Jules, you described it perfectly. It's a hug, isn't it?
It is. It is just like wearing a hug. It's so lovely. It really is.
No, you can make it very smart. You can put a pin in there, for example. Maybe it's a removable pin, but it just keep it there. And then when you want a bit more of a chilled out look, you can leave it like so. Or maybe put a belt, a soft belt to tie around there, just to draw it in. Absolutely fantastic. And that would look gorgeous in some form of blanket style fabric, or maybe cotton for the summer, because it's not just for the winter. It's not a hug for the winter. It just be something to cover up in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it does get a bit chilly. If you're sitting outside, you've had a barbecue or something, and you just want something to throw on while you're sitting still having a cocktail outside, then it's perfect.
Oh, yes, you've got me at cocktail. That is your Bianca, £17.99, 722489. And then you've got the Celia. Shall I go and get Celia, or excuse me for a moment? Excuse me, Celia, but here she is again, that little whop. Where are we? That's me, but that's your Celia, just in case you didn't know. Beautiful design there, with that lovely rouge around the bottom and the sleeves as well. Makes a nice little bit of elegance, whether you're wearing this just around the house or whether you're going out. Nice with a pair of trousers.
Yeah,
lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. That is your Celia, 693077. Now, before we head off to the end of the show, shall we tell everyone what the connection is between all the names? Lots of you have got it right, so well done, everyone. Far more intelligent than myself, and well educated you are. Can we tell them the connection, please, Jules?
Yes, yes. They're all based. All of our patterns are named after Shakespearean heroines, because we are based just outside Stratford-upon-Avon.
Perfect.
I know.
Love the connection.
Yeah.
Love the connection. But we were talking that you're getting more and more patterns, so you might have to think of something else.
We're going to run out of names shortly, I think. Yeah, so we'll have to come up with another idea.
I did suggest Kill Bill. It's not quite the same as Shakespeare, but, you know, still a great film. Right, please do check out your baskets. Jules, thank you so much.
No, it's been an
If
absolute
anyone's
pleasure.
thinking, shall I take this first step into dressmaking, what would you like to say to them in 20 seconds?
Absolutely do. Give it a go. There is nothing so rewarding as making something and wearing it, actually.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the best
absolutely
thing.
right. Yeah. And you can make as many of these as you like for yourself, your family and your friends. Thank you to Jules. Thank you to you guys for watching as well. But do make sure you check out your baskets, and also go and check out that fabric we had on the show. Coming up next, we've got Bizarrology. Oh, I can see the hair from here. It looks fantastic. No, not Adam's, Jane is. Let Leonie Loose coming up after that.
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi order? When you place an item on FlexiBuy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi order. which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your flexi-buy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping baskets, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi Order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly Flexi-buy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi Order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Hi, I'm Ali Reeve. I'm from the company Stamps Away. Stamps Away is a family-run company with my husband and I. We create all things crafty, especially with a passion for mixed media. At Stamps Away we create a lot of MDF products because we have laser cutters and router cutters. We also create our own stencils and masks. We try and make everything we can in-house so that you've got all the materials you need to create your projects. If you're watching a show with me on Hochanda, you'll expect to see lots of different techniques, lots of ways of using the products that we produce, and it's all very much mixed media, so pretty much anything goes. So I hope you won't miss the shows on Hochanda with Stamps Away.
Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Paula.
And together we are Julie Hickey Designs. We formed our partnership after many years of friendship, after both of us being in the craft industry for well over 20 years.
We have a great partnership. I do all the day-to-day business side and Julie does all the designing.
Our range of stamps and dies are made to the highest quality. Our stamps are the deepest etch that are available and they are made in the UK. And they give you beautiful, clean, crisp impressions every time, and our dies cut like a dream. The thing I love to do most is to share my ideas, hints and tips with you, the Hochanda viewers, so I can inspire you to pick up a stamp and get creating. So be sure to tune in for the Julie Hickey Design shows
on Hochanda.
Hello, I'm Hayley, and you might have seen me presenting here at Hochanda. Well, I've always been an avid crafter behind the scenes and have been given the opportunity to share some of my favourite products with you in a monthly show called Handmade by Hayley. So I hope you'll join me, let me inspire you, and maybe you will discover a new craft in the process.
Welcome to Hochanda's 5 Days of Christmas. Are you struggling for ideas or need a little extra creative assistance as you start your crafty preparations for Christmas 2020? From Thursday the 23rd of July at 6 p.m. to Tuesday the 28th of July at 6 p.m, we'll be bringing you 5 days of Christmas crafting. Tune in and be inspired by Pink Ink, Sentimentally Yours, Clarity Stamp, John Next Door, La Blanche and many, many more as they help you get into the crafty Christmas spirit. Also, as an early Christmas treat from us to you, make a purchase of any item and you will automatically be given a £5 credit to spend against any purchase of £30 or more the following day. And you can do this every day throughout our event. So get ready for Christmas 2020 by tuning in to our 5 Days of Christmas from the 23rd of July at 6 p.m.
So where do you keep your recipes? Where do you keep all those little memories that you want to keep and savour and keep hold of? Where do you keep all those little souvenirs of places where you've been, those shows that you've seen, them journeys that you've taken that you never want to forget? Are they all kept in a little cardboard shoebox that's popped under the bed that you never look at? Have you got papers stacking up in the corner? And you think, I really don't know what to do with all those papers. You've got watercolour card, left, right and centre. You've got your normal card that's all over. Well, have you ever tried bookbinding? Now, I know what you mean, and I know where you're coming from. The minute you think bookbinding, you think hard work. You think, I'm going to need a lot of tools. I need a big old machine that I pull down. It's got counterweights on. It's going to be the size of a maisonette house. Well, it's not. And trust me on this. Give me 20 minutes of your time, for example. Give me 20 minutes of your time, and I will show you how easy bookbinding is today. And as I've said before, I will show you. I will hold your hand and I will take you to a wonder. Yes, I will take you to a lady who knows more about bookbinding. Well, I can tell you how much she knows about bookbinding. She's got a dedicated room. That's how much you know. Oh, I've not forgot. She's got a dedicated room for bookbinding. That's how easy it is. Now, when you think, and we laugh and joke about it, and you think, a dedicated room, is this how big it's going to be? No. Because once you start, you genuinely can't stop. And you want more and more and more things pressed. You want to, I'll press this now and I'll wait for that to dry overnight and I'll come back to that in the morning. You've constantly got projects on the go. And it is easy, and we've got some projects to release. If you look at the paper that's looking here at the moment, that is, we've got projects in that we are going to release live on air. I know, anything could happen. We're going to release the books. You're in a book. Now, the size that you're currently seeing at the moment, this size here is the original. Okay, this is the original book press that we bought to you here on Hochanda. £19.99, and last time we bought it on air, it sold out. It flew out. We've managed to get some back. £19.99. A nice little bookbinding set. But, now it's very rare I say this, if your money will stretch, I would go for the extra large. What we're talking about, an extra £9, an extra tenner. For an extra £10 note, 2 fivers, you know, you can file that down the back of the sofa. Go for the large. The large is your A4 sheet. Now, obviously, the larger you go, the more projects you can fit in. For example, if you're going to make your little notelet books, so these are all the little pages that you've got in there that you could tear out, that you just tear across the top, you know, if you like your shopping list or your little jotters that you want. Imagine how many you could get. I reckon you could get 1, 2. I reckon you get 3, and then like a long shopping list one in there quite easily over the night if you're going to press them. Remember, you can press them on the edge at the top, which will show you how to do, so you can tear them out, or you can create things that look like this. Now you're thinking, well, that's easy, Adam, it's just a bit of card folded. It's not. It's fabric with a paper insert. But how do you get it so smooth? How do you get it so it's not buckled and creased and torn and a little bit popping up here and a little bit there? But you've already sewed onto it, but you can't see the sewing on the back. How does all this work? Well, it's very simple, and it's all in the book. It's all in the book press kit. Oh, I'm that excited. I got all my words of a flutter. Then look, it's work. It's you, Jade. It's you. It's something you ooze. You're oozing to me, and I'm getting all kerfuffled here. I am.
Not sure that's the right word.
Maybe it's not. But it's so easy to do, and I've got Jane here in the studio as well. And yes, I know, funnily enough, they've let us work together again. We're just going to show you the mini, and then I'll introduce our special guest. This is a very special guest that I've got for you, renowned around the world. We've also got the mini press as well. If you want to dip your toe into the waters, you might want to try it for the mini. £12.99, 592 610 is your item number. Now I think about it, ooze was the wrong word. Now, I can't think of the right word to use. But yes, she's here, ladies and gentlemen. She's had a word with management, but they didn't get in till late. So, unfortunately, she's stuck with me. Jane is here again.
I don't know how to follow that.
Well, you do. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. When you're here, with everything you bring us, in the nicest possible way, it looks really complicated for all the stuff that you look at it and you think, my word, I'd never be able to achieve that. I would never be able to do that. And the bookbinding is exactly the same process, isn't it? When you think about bookbinding, you think, I'm never going to be able to achieve how to get 10 off books, how to do all the covers on the books. But it's really, you've done all the hard work for us.
Yeah.
And when you bring it to us now, all we can need to do is get it home and just enjoy.
Well, with going back to kind of bizarrology, we're known for obviously the MDF three-dimensional kits. They look quite technical. This has come from my side of crafting. So I've been teaching bookbinding, and I realised it would be much easier to have things like a cradle and a piercing guide. So at Bizarrology we can make things like that. So originally it was made for me, and then we're like, hang on a minute, we think people are going to like this because we can simplify it, and then people can take it as far as they want. You can keep it to simple binding, or you know, if people want to, we can then go into the more technical binding later on down the road, and you know, the world is your oyster, really.
Well, it is, and they're going to grow. They're going to grow with you as well. We're very busy on the large once again. Nearly a third of the stock of the large has now already gone. So remember, you've got the original, you've got the mini, and you've got the large one here, which now fits A4. So there's an A4 sheet, so you can see. So it does fit your A4 projects in there as well. So you know how big you're roughly getting. So your A4 will fit in there beautifully to do all your large book bindings as well. And we were talking about this in the meeting we have just before we come on the show. I know, we do have meetings, we plan things. But we were talking about, you know, when you go for your scrapbook, or you do your doodles and you tear out a page of your journal, and you can never get those pages back in. Because you've torn it, you've broke that glue, you've broke that seal, but you've got a lovely piece of work. What do you do with them then? Yeah, you may frame them, but all those frame bits of work that you've took out before, what do you do with that one? Well, now you can stick them all together. You can bind them together, so they are going to rework like that tear-off pad that you first originally started with. But this time, it's down to you to put the covers on there. Now, I know it's all well and good, and we've got loads of hints and tips throughout the hour as well, but there's not enough that we can cram into this hour or the hour at 7 o'clock this morning. So, funnily enough, Janie knew all this. She knew I can't cram everything into the hour that we've already got and the 2 hours that we've had today. So she popped a little DVD together. A DVD of everything that you will need to know. It is the beginner's guide, as it were, to binding books. It's on the DVD. Remember, everything is in here as well that you will need to grow. So from the simplest we showed this morning to your 3-hole one. So your 3-hole stitch, which I would say was one of the basics. So it's one of the basic stitches in there. It's literally 3 holes and a bit of thread and a needle. Okay? So it's one of the basics to things like these with your beads on. Okay? And then we go to your spacings of your beads. It will show you how to do all of this, how to attach a tassel onto the edge of your binding as well, how to do it with leather and go through with your leather, because remember, you're creating a book. This is what you are going to create. You are creating, this is the perfect example, a book. So you've got all those bits of pages that you don't know what to do with now. So those A4 pages that you've used, that you've distressed, you can now create your very own book with them, and you can now leather bound them. So maybe you want to go for that little hints and tips that you've already got. How about one of old Matthew Palmer's little tubes of paint, little watercolour paint, but you can turn this into a book. It's absolutely beautiful, but once you've got the right tools for the job and you know what you're going to be doing, it's all on the DVD for you. £14.99. 829734 is your item number for the DVD. There's more on the website as well throughout the hour. If you've got any questions throughout the hour, we had questions from California. Oh, I know. From Janie to Janie. We're very big down in California as well. Oh, Janie's massive down in California. I'm very big in all 3 corners of the world. I'm very big in Bolton. Oh. Now, Blackpool, I can't even go to Blackpool without security anymore. So big I am. So check the website out as well. Right then, we started some projects in the 7 o'clock hour. We're sort of going to take off from where we left off at 7 o'clock. And we're going to sort of finish some projects as well. Just give me a brief synopsis. I know, big word. Okay.
Big word.
A big word. I've been reading a dictionary during the hour. Of what we did before we get to the stage that we are now.
So what I did was I had pre-cut some paper, a stack of paper, simply put it into the book press and run, I think it was 3 lines of glue that we pushed into the edge, and then we've clamped it down and we've left it from the last show. So that's all we've done so far. So I think it's dry. I said earlier I would normally do this sort of thing later on and leave it overnight just because I get impatient and I'll start trying to see if it's done when it's not done. But I think we should be good to go. So we'll just slide that out. Let's pop that down there. So what we've got is we've got the edge. This is called a perfect bind, so that's stuck together now. And it allows you just to peel off. So you've got your notepad. So ideal for your shopping list. But what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put a back on it, which I could have done to start with, but I forgot. So it's fine, because all I need to do is put a run of glue.
Your grey board's on the screen. We've also got glue on the show as well. You don't need no special glue. We've got the amazing glue on the show from Bizarrology as well, so I'd start putting that. You do get a part of glue with the grey board as well. But if you want extra, it's always good to have.
So all I'm going to do, I've just put a run of glue on that little bit there. I don't need to paste the whole thing. It's just to stabilise it. And then what I've done is cut a piece of paper, which is the same depth, but a little bit longer. So I'm going to wrap that round, like that. I'll do a rough crease, and then I can crease it with my bone folder. Like that. So that should go around the spine nicely. Like that. Turn it over, and I'm just going to pop some glue on that overlap there. Push that down.
Together.
And there you have your notepad.
And normally they would cost you, well, let's just go for an average. Let's go £5. £5 for your book, as it were. Maybe it would be slightly more, I feel. But you've now created it to your taste, to your size, for the paper that you want in it as well. So maybe you wanted to do, the first 10 sheets was watercolour. The next set sheet was super smooth, because that's what you're going to stamp on. The next set of 10 is going to be, I don't know, maybe pearlescent card, because you want to do some doodles or calligraphy in there. It's going to be lined paper, maybe. Because remember, you can choose what you want to put in there as well. And now you can start choosing the covers as well. We are extremely busy on the large one. Remember, your large is your A4. 40% of the stock has already gone on the large. £29.99. 366874 is your item number for your large print. Then we've got the mini. Now, once again, if you're going to dip your toe into the water, I would definitely suggest you going for this one. Your mini will sort of do sizes of this, okay, just so you can get a rough estimate of the sizes that we've got in there. So if you're going to do your little booklets, this would be a perfect way to start, I feel. But if you think you're really going to enjoy it, I would go for that large one as well, if your budget will go to it. 592610 is your item number. And then the back in stock original, where the whole journey started with your book press, £19.99. 792389 is your item number. You're saving 20% on this as well. At the normal price of £24.99. So it's only £19.99 today. 792389 is your item number. Now, a perfect partner, a perfect match, as it were, with all of these is the little cradle that we've got on the show. Now, the cradle itself, you get the cradle you can dismantle. This is not glued together. They can all be fall apart and can go flat. So if you haven't got a space, or if you haven't got a dedicated craft room, you can take apart the cradle and do it whenever you want. You get the cradle. You also get the measurements as well. Now, this will all make sense shortly. Do not worry. Okay? So you get that, and that'll fit in there, but we'll ask Janie to demonstrate. You also get your pokey tool that's in, which will make sense as well, and you get your two folders in here. Now, what can you create with this? Well, before we go any further, and I start showing you the finished samples, it's easier to see working, and once you've seen it working, what you will then do is you'll then go, ah, yeah, I understand now. Then I will come back and we'll show you the samples that I've got here, because then it will all make sense of what you can do. We are very busy for this. 45% of the stock has already gone here. £24.99. 368664 is your item number. Jenny, is it possible? Oh, look, you're one. Oh, she's good. Oh, she's good. She's one step ahead of me on this. Can we just see in action? If they didn't see it at 7 o'clock, what do we do with it?
So for piercing the holes, I was saying earlier, I tried to eliminate the whole measuring it out to get the holes even. Some people eyeball it, but then it's not necessarily going to be even. So the idea behind this is the numbers equate to the notches on the side, and then you've got the holes in the centre. So we normally need to find the centre point. So what I'm doing is I'm levelling up the edges. So it's about 7.5 on either side, so I know that gives me a centre point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into 6. And then I've got even holes. Evenly spaced and easy to punch.
Which is amazing. So now, all you simply need to do is bind it all together and you've got your start of your books already. So you can do your covers, you can do your pages in the middle as well. So now, let me show you what you can actually achieve. So let's go simple with the 3 holes that Janie's just done. Okay, so you've got your 3 holes and your thread. We'll be coming onto your thread shortly, do not worry. So you've got your 3 holes in there and it's literally just tied in the middle. But from that, from your basics, we can then go to maybe a larger stitch. So maybe you're thinking that this time we've got 1, this is 3 again, but it's slightly larger that you've already got in there, which is nice. Then from that, you go to your beads. So now we've got your beads in the show. Once again, perfectly spaced, the gap in between. You haven't had to do it by eye. There's no ruler involved. But maybe you want to go slightly further apart with these as well. So now you can go further apart. Or pop in a paintbrush. Pop it in the paintbrush and use that as your spine. Use that as the hinge in there. You could decorate your paintbrush. Maybe it's an old one that you're about to throw out. Use it. Do not throw anything away, and then your book will still work perfectly. It's all still in there. 50% of the stock now of this is now already gone. Very busy across the board. I love this one as well. Look at that. With your cover that's already on there, then you really can go to town and use it on the inside. Let me just show you the stitches that you've got on the inside as well, because these are the holes that you are creating that's already in there. I think it's absolutely stunning of what you can make. But once again, our Janie has now created the easiest way to line everything up for you. The guide is done. You sit the guide in, you use your tool every time, and then you poke your holes all the way through. You can go up to 10 holes either side. So you can have it with the holes of 20 holes down the book. So you know if you are going to do all 20, it's going to be super secure, is what we're talking about. You're also getting both of the tools in there as well. £24.99, 368664 is your item number. Right then, what you're going to need though is once you've pierced your holes, it's all well and good piercing holes, but what do you pop through them? Well, this is the thing, you're going to need your thread. You're going to need your thread and your needles. Now, you're getting 2 size needles that's in here, so you're getting both sides. If I pull these out, you can see the size of the needles that you're getting there. So you're getting the one, and then you get a slightly smaller one as well. I'm guessing it's just for... Is it just for the case of the threads that we're using on the size of the hole?
Yeah, so the smaller one that you're holding, that is what I would generally use for bookbinding. The thicker one, obviously it's got a larger eye if you're using a thicker thread, or you find it easier to use that one, but also that's ideal when you use the tassel maker as well. If you want to thread down through the tassel, I use that needle.
3/4 of the stock is already gone here as well. Not only do you get your needles, you're also getting your wax included. Now, I learnt in the first hour, to show I was listening, you use your wax on the thread that gives it a waxy look, and that's how you traditionally use it when you were bookbinding. It's your case of running it through. It's very, very simple to do, and then it sort of helps the threads as well. It also sticks itself together.
You were listening.
I know, it was 7 o'clock. See, I do pay attention sometimes. Just going to have a blank look on my face. I do occasionally listen. £9.99, very busy on this as well, is what we are. I get it what you can, because you're getting your both threads in there as well. So it's a nice little start, 80% of the stock already gone. This is flying out the door. £9.99. If it was me and your budget will stretch to it, let's go for... Well, let's go for the easiest budget that we've got. So, let's go for the original press at £19.99. If your budget would go to the big one, then go for the big one. But let's go simple. £19.99 for your original press. Then, obviously, you're going to want to make some holes as well, because you're going to go into well. You're going to want the cradle. We're going to want the DVD, just so we know what we're doing along the times. So we're going to want the DVD, and then we're going to need the needles as well. Okay, so that is a nice little kit. We're going to work it out, see if it comes under flexible payments and all that. Just under £70, which means you're over that £60 mark, so now you can split it into 2 interest-free flexible payments if you're going, and that, would you say, Jenny, is a nice little kit to start?
Definitely, you could make loads. You could make if you
loads
were selling them, you would easily get your money back.
we're limited stock now on the threads. And it's gone, sold out. Sold out on the threads is what we are now. Well done. Well done is what I can say. It's well done. Something else that you might need as well. It's a nice little show. I love this little show. Your grey board that's in there, and your adhesive sheets with your bookbinding glue and your brush as well. You've got 10 sheets of grey board that's in there. You've got 4 double-sided adhesive sheets that's in there as well. And you're also getting your glue, and you're also getting your glue brush as well. I know, a glue brush in there for £14.99. There's so many things that you can achieve with these when you get them home. You start small and you start thinking, well, I'll just do that. And once you've started one, you'll think, well, maybe I can try these. Maybe I can try that as well. I think it's an amazing little concept. And Meg was saying, before we came on air, just as we were wandering around the corridors, because that's what we do, we've got nowhere else to go, we just wander the corridors, say wandering the streets, I suppose. We just wondering, we were having a wander. And she was like, well, I'd like to give it a go, but it's always a bit daunting and a bit scary. But it's not, is it? It's quite easy to do.
No, that's the whole idea behind this, is to simplify it. So yeah, you can get more technical if you want to, but like I said earlier, you can keep it simple and get some really great results.
Do you need my large press?
It depends which demo you want me to do
well,
first.
It's entirely up to you. I don't know.
Could I have your large press?
Do you want a demo of the large press, Meg? Of course it is. Apparently, I didn't know if you were waiting for me to hand it over or...
That's fine. So, let me remember what we put under here. It was our board, I think, wasn't it?
I can't actually remember, to be honest. I think it was our board with fish on.
I think it was, because I was just showing how to... Let's see if it's dried and pressed. Nice and flat. Look at that. So this would be for a nice cover for a hardback book. So obviously you would do 2 of them, front and back, but I was just showing how to do the corners. So for anyone that missed it, cut about 1 centimetre of your paper larger than your board. Cut the corners, but not right up to the corner. Leave a couple of mil, and then you can tuck that in when you're sticking around. Then I just put a bit of white paper on because I couldn't find my printed paper because I was so organised this morning, and in the press, and then you've got a nice perfectly flat board ready for your bookbinding. But obviously not just bookbinding. If you were to punch 2 holes, put a bit of string, you've got a nice plaque as well.
Yes.
So you can use it for all different projects as well as your bookbinding.
If you can get one of those little clipboard things to put at the top, one of the little clips, that'd be nice.
You could do two boards like this, put your holes in the side and just put some ring binders in, and then you've got your nice flat covers as well. So there's lots of options. And for anyone that didn't see this morning, what I've done, this is the back of the sticky sheets because it's non-stick. So what I do is I sandwich it in between so you don't get any glue on the inside of the press, and you know it's not going to stick to anything.
Those sheets are in with your adhesive sheets, that was with your grey board as well, so they are on the back of your adhesive sheet, so don't think you get extra sheets. It's just the back of your adhesive, the bit that you would normally throw away in the bin. They are non-stick, so you can use them time and time again, so keep hold of them. £14.99. Right then, what are we up to?
Well, because we've taken something out of the press, let's put something back in, and I'll just show you another technique. So I'm not binding a whole book, it's just another technique to show you what you could use as a cover. So I've been doing lots of printing with the DVD ROMs, which are on the website. We've got volume 1, volume 2, and I found a nice new way of printing onto fabric.
Oh.
So it won't go through the wash, but we don't need to put books through the wash, so it's fine. All I did was I bought a roll of freezer paper, because I've done it with like a bonding web before, so you iron it onto the back and it's got a carrier sheet, so that will go through, but it does leave you with the web on the back of it. So freezer paper, it's got like a plastic coating on it, so that will iron onto the back. I might have one that's still got it on the back actually. Sorry, turning my back to everyone. So this is as it comes out of the printer, and you just peel it off the back. So because it's got a plastic coating, when you iron it, it sticks to it enough to run it through your printer, and then it will just peel off and you're left with your nice
fabric.
Doesn't change the structure of the fabric. So if we were, I mentioned earlier, if you were covering a book board, so like the board we just showed, and you were covering it with a fabric, obviously this has got a stretch to it.
Yes.
So you might be lucky when you cover it, but you know, you want to pull it nice and tight, and you might stretch the pattern. So we make what we call a book cloth.
Okay.
So this is just some normal copy paper. I'm going in with some PVA and right the way over.
So is this technique on the DVD as well?
This one isn't, so this is like an add-on.
Good.
Because I just wanted to show people different things that you can use for covers other than just paper.
Oh, you're too good to them. You're too good to my one viewer that I've got.
There we go, so just paste over the whole bit of paper. Let's get a clean sheet of that because I'm a bit messy. Put that down. Stick that down like that. Bone folder to smooth out, so always from the centre out. And then that would go, so you can see there's a little bit of bubbling now, but that would go in the press. So sandwich it again, like that. That will go in the press, and then when it comes out dry, it'll be nice and smooth and flat, and you've got no give in the paper then, in the fabric, sorry, so it gives it structure. So then, once that's dry and flat, and you wrap it around and you can stitch into the side.
In there, which I think is amazing. The bone folders that we were talking about earlier, and this one at the moment that comes with the cradle, oh my word, 80% of the stock has already gone. You do get two, but I can't stand it up for the life of me. Oh, there we go. Oh, now no one touch it. So 80% of the stock here has now already gone, £24.99. This creates the holes in the spines of your work, so then you can bind them all together. A little handy tool to have, it really, really is. 368664 is your item number for this as well. It's good to have at home. Just if you want to create your own books that are already in there. The large as well is very, very busy. Half the stock of the large has now already gone. So half the stock of the large here has gone as well. If your budget will go, I would go for the large because there is so much you can do with it. There really, really is so much you can do with that large one, because then it's the best of both worlds. Well, what are we creating now?
Right, I'm going to do another stitch. So this morning we just did the 3-hole pamphlet bind. So I don't know, should we do a running stitch?
Let's do it.
Maybe. So I've pre-folded a few bits of paper, and you can see the cradle is also handy just for placing those in. Because what I was doing when I was teaching this before, you would have a stack of them at the side. This is much easier. They're pre-stacked then, out of the way. So someone was asking me on social media about weights of paper.
Oh.
So if I just talk about that quickly before we go any further. The card that I'm using for the covers, I like to use a 220 GSM. That will go through most people's printers as well if you want to print your own. It's also the weight of a lot of paper pads that you'll buy as well. It's just a nice weight to use. For the inside I use copy paper, but I use a 90 GSM. It just has a bit more body to it than your normal. I wouldn't use a 75 GSM, 80 maybe, but I like 90. You could also use a nice cartridge paper, but standard, that's what I would use, 220 GSM and a 90.
The cradle that you're about to use has now gone limited stock. It's now limited stock for the cradle, and Meg has now turned me off so I can't hear her in my ear because she's currently on the phone to see if we can get any more. Limited stock is what we are now. 368664 is your right number. If you want it to be quick, because I genuinely don't know if we can get any more or not, because my producer is currently on the phone trying to see. She's currently arguing. I can hear now in the back, in the distance. So let's get into a demo so we can see how it all works. If you are lucky enough to get one, this is what you'll be doing with it when you get home.
I can still use it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, right. Nah, be alright.
Go on. What are they going to say? They can't take us off air.
Any of my family who are watching, now I've said that, my nephew says that. Nah, I'll be alright.
Nah, I'll be alright.
Be alright, won't it?
Oh, the cradle's now sold out. You can still use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. I'll take the rap for it. I'm used to it.
So I showed earlier that in the books, looking for one that I've done, I would have, look, this was done with two playing cards. So that's another thing you can use. But I normally have a little lip that goes around so that your cover is slightly larger. So the easiest way of lining it up is pop a little mark there. Actually, she says there. Now the cutting mat that you use, I would suggest using a self-healing cutting mat. I wouldn't use a glass mat because I find it's easier to use the grid lines on here, and also you don't have the slip on it, so it's more secure. Another basic is when you're cutting, you can see I've started from the spine edge, so that it all keeps together until I've cut through and it falls away. Another thing that I would have to say to people in a workshop is you put the pressure on your ruler, not on your knife. So it's better to glide through more times. People automatically think, oh, we've got 10 sheets of paper, I need to put a lot of pressure to get through the whole thing. You don't. It's safer to go more times with less pressure. So another mark there. So I know that's going to give me an even space all the way around. Line up to my grid. And then cut this side off as well. Another reason for cutting this opening edge is because I've got 10 sheets of paper here folded, you get a thickness, which means this edge isn't even anymore, so you just need to straighten it out. Pop that inside with a little clip at the top to keep it in place, and the cradle comes in. So we're lining up either side, so you can see I've got 7 and 7 are meeting with the edge of the paper here. So how many holes shall we put in? Running stitch, I said, didn't I?
You did.
1, let's go. We'll leave 1 gap in between our holes.
So if you are trying to find the cradle now, we are currently sold out. We've got buyers frantically trying to make phone calls. I think there's currently 4 of them on him. They're running around like headless chickens. They're all on the same phone, hoping someone will pick up. So we are looking into it. The minute I get them back is the best way. If you do want the tips and techniques, though, through the trade, is the DVD is what you're after as well. So the DVD is what you're going to need. Remember, we've had 2 sellouts this hour as well. So we've had the needle sellout, and now we've had the cradle sellout as well.
Okay, so sorry, I was doing that while you were chatting, just waxing the thread. My wax looks different to what we've got in the kit, but it's essentially the same thing. And you're just pulling the thread through the wax. And I'm going to nip off the end because I didn't quite wax it to the end, and it's easier to thread when you've got wax on it. There we go. So I haven't decided whether I'm just going to do a running stitch or whether I'm going to come back on myself yet, so I've got a little bit of extra thread. So simple as, I'm just going to leave an end there so I know I can tie off into the next one. And I'm using a variegated colour thread here because then that looks nice on the spine when you see the different colours. So literally just like you would be doing your slow stitching on some fabric. I should really have my reading glasses on to be doing this.
I can't get over how quick and easy it is to do.
Yeah, once you've got the basics, you can then just start experimenting with, you know, even using different threads. Yeah, I definitely should have put my other glasses on because I can't quite see what I'm doing.
Have you got them here? Or are they in a green room somewhere?
No, they are here somewhere, but it'll be fine. Right, so I've done a running thread like this, and then I'm going to go back on myself, okay? So, a bit of wax on the end there.
We're going to, while you do that, I'm going to talk about other things we've got on the show as well. We've got phone calls. This could be a good phone call. I'm hoping, otherwise it could be my end of my career. So the DVD is what we're talking about. The details are on the screen. 829734 is your item number for the DVD. Remember, it's full of hints and tips and guidance on how to use all the tools that we've got currently on the show at the moment as well. If you're just starting off, you're going to need somewhere to start. And yes, there's only so many things I can tell you in an hour, because unfortunately, I do have to tell you things as well. So we can't stay at demo for the whole hour. But what we've got here is we've got the beginner's guide to bookbinding, which is good. Because as I said, all hints and tips are in there. It's £14.99. 829734 is your item number for this. Remember, it's going to teach you the things like how to put your paintbrushes inside of your journals as well. So now you've got a different look to a journal. Necessarily, you don't have to throw anything away. It will also tell you how to pop your beads in there and how to do these sorts of things, even how to turn a little acrylic paint pot into a journal itself as well. All of this and much, much more is featured into the journal through the 5 chapters is what you've got. 5 whole chapters on the DVD. She will take you through the basic 3 to 5 hole binding. So you get everything in there from 3 hole to 5 hole. And then once you've learnt 5 hole, you can go all the way up to 10 hole if you bought the cradle. There's so much more you can buy for. 829734 is your item number. Right then, something else I'm quite intrigued about is the tassel maker. Now, you're getting all of this, so you're getting your recycled sari ribbon that's in there as well. Then you also get yarn, and you also get this device, which is always here. So, what actually is this? I know it's a tassel maker.
Yes, so, again, trying to make life easy. You can wind your thread around, so you've got your 3 different sizes. So you wind around.
Yeah.
You've got your little lip at the top here, so that you can thread your cord.
Oh yeah, to tie it onto.
Whatever the word is, the hanger.
Yeah, no, with you, your cord, your little hanging string.
We've got a little slot in the bottom, so these scissors are a bit large, but that will fit in there, so it cuts the bottom off. You pull it off, thread it through the corresponding size hole, so you can tie it off, keep it going and cut it off nice and neat, so they can all be nice and neat, the same size.
Oh, so now
just makes it simple.
So it's all in the tool. So you've got 3 sizes of tassel to make. I was trying to find a tassel. You can never find a tassel when you want one. It's like a life lesson there. That is. Another insight to my personal life. But you've got the little tassel there, so you can start making tassels just like this in your own home as well. So also thinking about home decor as well, if you wanted to, if you're partial to a tassel, you can go to town from there. If I lean forward, you can also make tassels that look like this. How cute. Then you put a bit of googly eyes on there, you've got a little octopus. If it's a kid's journal, I'm just thinking, I'm like Peter Pan, I never grow up. But if you pop 2 googly eyes on there, and it's a little kid's journal, maybe you're making a little travel book, so if they're sitting on a plane, because eventually we'll all be going on holiday again, if they're sitting on a plane, or they're on the boats, or they're going on the cruises, or wherever they're going, and then they just want a colouring book. Colouring books can be quite expensive these days. And now you can sort of create your own. You can create your own colouring book with these. There's so many images that you can print off. And now you've all got your own tassels on, so you can make them out their favourite materials if it wanted to. You could also make phone charms out of these.
Well, I was also thinking, when you were saying about colouring books, how many crafters have got stamps? Stamped images on each page. There you go.
There's no more to... There's no more to... All those stamps you've got lingering the house. All those stamps that you've got in them drawers that you don't see, the big images that you don't use anymore maybe, all your mandala stamps with your intricate detail in there. Stamp them, give yourself a nice tassel on it so it looks a nice colouring book, and sell them. Get out there, put them on the World Wide Web, as it were. Get them out there and start selling what you've already got. It's so simple and easy to do, but when you've got the right tools for the job and you've got the sari ribbon in here as well, There is so much you can do with this whole collection. Absolutely beautiful. £11.99, 640 497 is your item number. Now, another new today, I've been dying to get to these. Yeah, we're so busy on these. You've already found them. And I absolutely love them. They are the cutest little boxes you have ever seen, with the biggest punch that you'll see as well. So it comes to you like this. It comes flat packed, okay? Obviously, our ones, Jenny's already designed on them, but you can choose your own design. Because you are getting the shell. You are getting a nice little shell that's already here. You've got a section in the front that you can pop a little notelet card as well. And as we lift it up, as you can see, you've got these little leads. Now this, I think it'd be quite easy just to do a normal lid if you wanted to, but it does work like a tiny little easel. And if I take these ones out, because I love this banded in leather, we've got leather as a 7-day saver. Look at this. That is a beauty. It's got a little tassel. See, from the tassel maker, I could keep me Adam's tassels. I could have in the front. Like a tassel, madam. Then you can have all your tassels. I work in a haberdashery at the weekend, that's what. But look how beautiful that looks like one of those old desks that you used to get with the gold that's round the edge on the top as well. Then as you open it up, you've got that beautiful easel on the inside that you can now pop your little journal in there, keep all your little items on the inside. Be nice on a dresser, with all your perfumes, your watches. I'm a big fan of a good. I like a nice little box on my dresser for the sheer fact I like putting things away because everywhere looks neat. And in theory, I've just shoved it all in a box. Is what I've actually done. But these would be beautiful because you could decorate them to your own room and to your own taste. I just think they're stunning. But there's so many more things you could use them for as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I was thinking in my bookbinding room. You have to keep reminding me.
We've all got one.
When I get home, I'm going to put them out so that I've got. I was saying earlier that when you have a first try at a bind, do it with scrap paper, and I tend to keep them. So you can remind yourself of what binds you've done, maybe write on the front how you did it, and then they can be stored inside. So then if you're then repeating to make one, you could stack that one on there just to remind yourself as you're making them how you did it.
Oh, I like that idea.
This one's got all my sticker ephemera in, so that's really handy, just in CD cases. So just so that you can file it, and then another one to put tools in. Glue and tools and things like that.
You've got a little CD collection, I mean, obviously if you haven't got the CDs in the cases anymore, this would be a nice way, DVDs maybe, to stack them all up and keep them looking presentable. Little trading cards, maybe, your artist trading cards, you pop them in there so you can sort through them as well. £14.99. There is so much you could use these for. I absolutely love them. 162793 is your item number. If your husband's got a little craft cave or anything like that, it'd be nice to keep like bits and bobs like the screws and the washers and all that. You could keep all them in there as well. Right then, I've got updates coming in thick and fast. Your extra large, oh my word, 70% of the extra large has now already gone. This is the extra large book binding press is what we're talking about, and 70% of the stock has already gone. Oh, the cradle. Good news, people, it's back in stock. It will be dispatched from the 24th of July. Oh, 2 days. What's 2 days between friends? Oh, by the end of the week it'll be dispatched to you. It's like a normal dispatch anyway, to be fair. Oh, someone has been busy. Well done, Meg. Oh, well done. Our producer, C, she digs in her heels. Oh, when she has a word, she has a word. She sent a strongly worded email, I feel, to get this back. And normally they're quite strongly worded. £9.99. They use a lot of stars normally. I don't know what that means. But £9.99. 620092. Also dispatched from the 24th. We managed to get them back as well. So if you missed them, we've got everything back in stock now, which is good. Janie, it's all down to you. What are you going to show me?
Just going to finish this one off. Because I did the running stitch, I went up one side and back the other. Okay, so now I've got my 2 threads here. So when I was doing the tying off earlier, I said I naturally go left over right, so then my second knot I would go right over to left, and then that just keeps the knot a little bit tighter, and we've got the wax on the thread as well. So that ties down there. Cut off the excess, and again, depending on how much wax I've put on there, it will stick down to itself. So shall we have a go with the tassel maker as well? Because we could put a tassel
go on, I
on
love
the
a good
side of
tassel.
this. Okay.
Oh, it wouldn't be a Wednesday without a tassel in our house.
It was quite funny when we launched the tassel maker. I was with Scott. There was a lot of hilarity.
Well, what more? Well, I can only apologise, first of all. You've not had a good run-in so far, have you, with presenters? Yanis is back tomorrow, you'll be fine.
I'm not here for another month. So, right, so the sari ribbon that you get, it's a recycled sari, and there's a variety of colours.
Yeah.
So I think it's on a, you know, whatever colour you get is what colour you get. I think that's how we're doing it.
Just potluck, as it were.
Potluck, but they're all, you can see, like, this is a selection that I've got at home, so you can see that they're all lovely colours.
Yeah, they
and
are.
if you get, so that one, open it up if you want to, you'll see there's different colours in it. We haven't got another show today, it's fine, just open it up.
Oh, so there is
so
more...
you twist it, and then it will come out at one end.
What about it weak? Oh, there we go.
And then you can see all the different colours in it. That's the best way
It's
of
like me
seeing
when I
it.
get out of the shower. It's how my hair goes.
That looks a bit like my hair.
As I start
I could
singing
make
Disney
myself some
Ariel,
extensions.
as I push myself out the bath. I like this.
Right, okay.
We've had a question in from Margaret from Brighton saying, do we get instructions with the tassel maker? We've had another one in from Patricia as well.
Do you know, I can't remember. I cannot remember. I will answer you later on social media.
If not,
or if they give me your email address, I will let you know, because I cannot remember.
Press record now, and we're about to show you.
So this is going to be a chunky tassel. So basically I've just wound it around the larger size. You're very colour coordinated there. You are.
Just like...
And then I'm just going to take some thread. So I'm going to pop it through with the needle, just for ease. You can see that goes straight underneath there, unthread, and then I will tie it off. I always find this difficult to show live on air because I feel like I'm making it look more complicated than it is. I'm a bit all fingers and thumbs.
I'd soon tell you if you were. If I don't understand it,
Like,
nobody else will.
Get off set, I'll do it myself.
I would never say that. You're very, very talented.
And it's not the best scissors in the world, but you can see you've got that ridge in there just to pop your scissors in. So if you were sensible and you had a smaller pair of scissors, that would work a lot more
Are they your
easily.
scissors for everything, though? Are they your
Pretty
paper
much.
scissors?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
so the first rule of crafting.
Well, they used to be fabric scissors, and now they're everything scissors, and I have proper fabric scissors that don't get used for anything else. So, as this is quite chunky, I would imagine the largest hole is going to be the size to go through. So you see we pull it through like that, and it keeps it nice and tight, so then I can tie it off.
I love these.
Add a bit of thread. I'll double it over just to make it easier. So you can do this with a mixture. I think the tassel on the side of the book that you were showing, I had some of the sari ribbon, but I'd also put some lace in there as well. So obviously you can mix it up. So I'm just going to do a simple tie around that one. Keep pulling it like that. So you can keep it the length that it is, or you can neaten it off like that, so you can see it's all come off at the same length. And
Oh,
there's
look at that.
there's the tassel.
There's
Okay.
your tassel.
So let's get all my scraps out of the way. So I just wanted to show it with the ribbon. I mean, that is a bit chunky for that book, but we'll go with it.
Well, that's quite nice. Maybe that's the look you're going for. It's oh, here we go.
I've also got this little charm as well. So again, I wanted to show different things you can do with printing off from the DVD-ROMs. So this tiny little butterfly here is done with shrink plastic. So that's just printable shrink plastic. shrunk it down, you see how tiny that is. And then I've got an old domino, scrap of paper, and then I just put some ultra thick embossing powder over the top and screwed in a little hook
We've had
in
it
the top.
confirmed that you do get instructions with the tassel maker.
There we go.
We have had it confirmed that you do get instructions with the tassel maker.
By someone who knows.
Yes, we could say that.
It was not me. Right, so I'm going to tie that onto the tassel as well. Put that through there. And then let me just neaten that edge off to make it easier. And see if I can get it under there. There we go. And tie that on. So like I said, it's a bit chunky for this journal, but I wanted to show you with the ribbon. So just imagine that's a bit smaller, and you've got a nice, interesting decoration there on the side.
It's nice, I like it.
Albeit a bit chunky.
And you made it look so simple.
Did I?
You did.
I feel like I didn't.
And you really did. And it is so simple to do, and it's so easy to do. You've got the ribbons in there. You've got everything you need. All you really need in this collection is a pair of scissors. That's all you need. It's a pair of fabric scissors and you are good to go. You can make pom-poms until your... Well, it's not pom-poms, they're tassels. Till your heart is content. You really, really can. £11.99, 640497 is your item number. Right then, we're very busy on the book presses. And I mean that, I genuinely mean, if you've got them in your basket at the moment, I would really start checking out if I was you as well. There are 3 sizes. Where do you want to start, Meg? We're starting with the large, the extra large. Of course she does. We're going for the extra large, £29.99. Now, your extra large, if your budget will go to it, it's worth going for your extra large book that we've already got on there. So, I'm going to create a little book now, so this is my extra large. How many can I get on? Because this is the last show, so I can start destroying packages. So you could quite comfortably get 4 little books onto there already. £29.99. Maybe you're just doing 4 covers. Obviously, I know all these books are different, so this is a totally different technique, but you'd still need the press. But you could do that at the end of there, so that's that one and there. So you could do 2 that end, and then I've still got the press. If obviously they have to be the same amount of pages in each, because you need even pressure across the board as well. £29.99, you've got 4 projects ready to go for the next day that you can start on. That's going to last you for a little while longer as well. 366874 is your item number. From there, we've got the mini. So the mini one you can create one of the little books as well. That's already in there. Absolutely love this mini. I think if you're dipping your toe into the water, this is the best place. I love that phrase. But it is the best place to start. For the sheer fact, it's £12.99. It's exactly the same as all the others. It's just slightly smaller. It's brand new today. 592610 is your item number. And then we have the original. There's no difference to it. It is just the original size. And it is the size of this book just here. Okay, so that would be A5.
Yeah.
So it's your A5 size books is what we're looking at with this one. So you can make those beautiful A5. Reminds me of some of these school books. So all those school covers that you need to, because that's what we had to do in our school. They'd give you a boring book, and one of your tasks would be to go and cover it. And you'd normally use flock wallpaper that your nan's had for years, because what do you have around the house apart from tin-foil? That's which my books were covered in, 'cause that's all I had. Well, I'm a crafter. I, grew up in the Midlands. We had nothing. It was either that or a baked beans label, so I thought I'd go for the tin-foil. And I'd say, it's Space Age. But you've got the A5 book that's already there. £19.99. 792389 is your item number. Something else that's busy, it's sold out. We've bought it back on a 2-day extended delivery. Is the cradle. The 24th, it's when it'll be dispatched to you. You are getting the cradle in there. You're also getting the bone folders in there as well. You're getting the guide, and you're getting your little pokey tool to poke all the holes down the middle. It's all the hard work's been taken out for you, so you haven't got to worry. £24.99 for these. Something else that's sold out back on extended delivery to the 24th is the needle and thread. You get your wax, you get 2 of the threads in there, and you get both of your needles in there as well. £9.99. We've only got 30 seconds left. We've got one more image that you've already found, is the DVD. Check the website as well, because if you want the papers, we've got the papers on the show on the DVD ROMs as well. But this is the beginner's guide to binding books. The title on the DVD is a lot easier, Beginner's Book Binding Guide, rather than what I just made up. £14.99. We've only got 10 seconds left. Thank you, Jane, my love. I know. Where did that go? Enjoy your lunch this afternoon with the three amigos.
Yes.
Yes, I know where you're off to.
The craft and jam.
Don't you go anywhere either. She is indeed off for lunch with the three amigos. I can't let you know who, but I think it'll be carnage. They'll be dancing on the tables in Burger King before midday. I guarantee it now. Let Loose next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, we're the Pink Ink Ladies.
I'm Kathy.
And I'm Mel. We've been with Hochanda right from the start and we've been crafting for 30 years. We're passionate about fabric, so our main thing is to stamp on fabric or stencil on fabric. We can't wait to show you all our new hand illustrated stamp and stencil designs, whether you're using them on cards or soft furnishings. Kathy and I get together at Pink Ink Towers and we can't wait to share our ideas. We choose all our subject matter together and then Kathy goes away and hand illustrates all our fantastic finished designs, and we pride ourselves on the quality of our range.